It's time for the secret show. What is it? We don't know, but you're invited to come along and sort of figure it out as we go, because that's kind of what we do. We've been told we aren't Disney historians, but at least we aren't Disney-borians. We've got Terrence and Beverly, along with Taryn and Jason, that's me. This show will have a drinking and fun, along with Disney news that's hardly ever dumb. Pretty sure this is an amazing theme song, because after all, we're experts and are never wrong. It's the Ears Up Secret Show, and that's really all we know. Yes, welcome to the Ears Up Secret Show on the internet. Welcome to the Ears Up Secret Show. Yes, welcome to the Ears Up Secret Show on the internet.
On the internet.
Hey, everybody, welcome. It's the Secret Show, 5th anniversary edition. Whatever that means, I don't know. We've already had an accident. Beverly has already screwed the fuck up.
Look, I was trying to be all cool and take a picture, like a nice picture for our Instagram.
Yeah.
But I'm not coordinated.
With your new Boosh phone?
So I failed.
The Boosh phone 5000?
Major fail. Yeah. It takes really good pictures, but I suck.
Yeah, well, you should have someone with an IT technology degree.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Did someone call?
Can you use my phone from now on and take all the photos?
You rang.
Not a problem. How do I turn this thing on
I
again?
spilled on my phone.
How do you do an Insta story?
I don't know. I can't do it. I'm trying to take a picture right now. I don't know how to do it. Look at.
Well, first of all,
That's because you've had like 17 glasses of wine.
True. That's true. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Sorry, Thomas, we were a little bit late for you. I apologize. But we're here now.
Dripping.
And that's okay. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing with Thomas.
It's all good.
What drink do we have?
I don't know. So let me set it up real fast. Hang on just a second, everybody. Everyone slow down. Everyone calm down a little bit. Everybody relax.
It's very exciting.
We actually hired a bartender for free for this, so it's awesome.
That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true.
Actually, the bartender's paying to be here, kind of.
That's also absolutely true, and that's fine. So this is our secret show for not only, I guess, for the month of September. We can roll it into the same thing and do 2 to 1, but it's also for the anniversary party. Yeah. We're going to be doing this for 3 hours. We're going to be live.
All right, good night.
And it was honestly kind of cool to, we're 15 minutes off our start time, like I said, and there's already a bunch of people in the chat room, like, waiting. Yeah. So that was really cool. So I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Especially our out-of-towners. That's it feels good, man. It feels good, and I appreciate the Patreon support. Okay, so on to the drinks. So my friend Brad is here. Hello, Brad, in his Trader Sam's Hawaiian shirt.
How are you guys doing today?
Good. Do me a favor. Someone give him a chair, because I'm going to talk to him for longer than 4 seconds, please. Thank you very much. That would be very nice. So Brad here, Brad and I, we have a love of tiki drinks as well. We share that, and we share, rum and making syrups and all the kind of dumb stuff that you do. And so I'm like, Brad, look, we're going to need a bartender, essentially, for the secret show. Would you mind coming in and doing that? He said, sure, no problem. I'm like, that was easy. I was expecting some kind of pushback, but you enjoy doing shit like this.
I love making drinks. It's so much fun to me.
What's your Instagram?
It is drinkdegroff on Instagram.
Drink DeGroff.
DEGROFF. So
okay.
All one word, Drink DeGroff.
And what does that even mean?
What we're doing is my roommate and I we're working
keto, by the way.
It is not keto. So we are working our way through a cocktail book. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah.
But it turned out there were quite a few more recipes in this book than we thought there was. So we're maybe through the G's after maybe a year. But we don't do it. We don't do it very often, but we make a few drinks out of the book, and we're trying to work our way through it. And
all right.
We post a photo and a really, really horrible photo, and just a little word about whether we liked it or not.
Yeah, I like the rankings. The rankings and then the feedback as well is very good.
Yeah,
I like that.
And it helps me remember too, like what we've had. We can go back and look, and we post them infrequently, but when we do a session, we'll do 7 or 8 drinks, but we didn't want to post 7 or 8 at one time because we didn't really want it to look bad.
But now you're rethinking that because you would have been done by now.
No, we still have only drank that many.
Really?
Yeah, I have a whole sheet that like 3 or 4 page document of drinks we've done that are not posted yet. So we just drink and then we kind of save it up to post them later.
All right. Well, I think that's good. So I think you're highly qualified to do these drinks.
I'm not an expert.
No, but you're highly qualified.
You're not an expert, but you're a pro. Because I had a little bit of the dregs of the spilled one from earlier, and it's very good.
Wait, one spilled? Oh, that's right. Beverly's here. I forgot about Clumsy Bev.
All over her crotch.
All thumbs Bev.
2 left feet on both hands.
Pretty much.
So how's the program for the drinks going to work today, Brad?
Oh,
Please,
my God.
please
So-
explain to us how we're going to suffer on.
So
your
we've got a list of
watch.
drinks, and we numbered them, and then we're going to let people pick a number, and we're going to make that drink and bring it in, and then see how it goes.
What do you
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I've got a list of drinks. We had Matt
Oh.
number them.
Okay.
And then
1 through 10.
I asked Terrence
Yeah.
to pick a number. He said 7.
Yep.
Okay.
We picked the number 7 drink on the list. And it
okay.
is the Clover Club, which
This is what we're drinking right
this is
now.
what we'll be
Okay.
drinking now. It's a gin, raspberry syrup, lemon juice, and egg whites.
Oh, it's
see,
so
Terrence?
good.
This is an egg
strange,
white drink. It
because it's
doesn't look
strange.
like it came out of Swamp Thing's main vein. You know what I mean?
Number 1, fuck you. Number 2, I didn't know, man. Come on, dude.
Jizz drink.
Right. Jizz free, and it's clear.
I would just like to state that I was not the first one to say jizz.
Today.
It's a special show.
I'm sure she'll be the last one to say it,
this-
though.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
For this particular drink.
Where'd you get the recipe? Is this?
This is actually right out of the Drink to Groff book. It is a very classic cocktail, though,
very
dating
good.
back to pre-prohibition times, I believe.
It
Very
is
good.
delicious.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
very, very good.
pinkies up.
Mazel.
Ma-
Mazel to that one.
Beverly still has yet to learn to say things
To
into her
use my
microphone.
microphone. And you would think, I mean, I don't do this
13
professionally
years.
at all.
13 years.
13 years, homie.
So to start with, so we've got this drink, and then so the person that picks the number will get a full-size drink, the one that Bev
Unless I
spilled.
spill it.
Yeah.
So Terrence
That is
dodged
garnished.
No, I
well,
got
that's
it-
why I
got
gave
it
him 2.
double.
Okay, you got a double.
So,
Got it.
But it will be garnished, and so we'll try to show it on the camera and stuff
Yeah.
like that, so people
Perfect.
can see what you guys are
Do we
drinking.
get one of the
I think I spilled it before I
Okay.
got a picture.
Yeah, I think that was before the
That
camera.
was-
course.
started.
I think
How
the
it's
garnish
spilled.
is still on the floor.
There were,
picture
I
of
think
it.
In my lap.
I think some
Huddle.
people took some pictures out in the kitchen, so
Okay.
have it for the blog or whatever you want to use it
Perfect.
for.
And so,
you.
just to be clear, these are what are these 2-ounce little
They are-
martini glasses?
They are 2 ounces.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're not
so we're
actually
not-
drinking like
Yeah.
a full drink every half
Which
hour.
is too
A
bad,
pint glass.
but it's fine.
I think this is like that game in college where you
Have a lollipop for every
Hour
hour.
of power.
In the bottle.
yes,
Hour of power,
where you
yeah.
have a shot of beer
I
every
remember that.
hour.
Oh.
And it seems
No,
like
you have a shot of beer every minute.
Every minute.
For an hour.
yes, that's right.
No, for
Yeah.
100
And-
minutes.
And so like for the first 10 minutes you're like, okay, this is really boring. Like it's not going to do anything. And then like 12 minutes hits and you're
You're
like, oh, this
tanked.
feels good.
Yeah.
And then 30 minutes hits and you're done.
Because you
And
have
another
5
30
beers
minutes.
in an hour. That's
Exactly.
why.
I
That's-
did that once.
I did that for my 32nd birthday.
I remember
It
that
was a
birthday.
terrible choice.
I remember you falling asleep,
Yeah, I quit.
sitting down on the kitchen table.
Yep.
Falling asleep.
Totally.
Sitting
She
up.
had her back against the wall, her knees up, and asleep. And it wasn't your 32nd; it was like 26 or something like that. Abby was not
Wow.
there.
No, I did it for my 32nd also. Because I just like to keep
Abby
making
cried in
memories.
the crib the entire
You
time.
didn't learn.
So I'm going to head back to the bar. So who is choosing the next number is the question.
Jeremy,
Yay.
pick a number between 1 through 10.
Jeremy chooses number 6, and we'll go see what that is.
And
Sounds
so
good.
the
Thanks,
chooser
Brad.
gets to drink the full
full
version
one,
of
yeah.
that.
That is true.
And I
Hell
imagine
yeah.
there are drinks mixed in here that are not necessarily top of the barrel that we might choose normally.
There's no Swamp Thing jizz in this one, right?
Are there any
Well,
drinks with milk?
Yes.
Okay. That answers my question.
So when I started out, I decided that there would be 2 milk/cream drinks,
Okay.
2 egg drinks, 2 tiki drinks, and then 2 kind of classic cocktails.
Sounds
Cool.
good.
Love it.
What was that number again, Jeremy? 6?
6.
All right, let's find out.
6.
All right.
Thank you, Brad.
Thanks, Brad. We'll see
You're
you in
welcome.
20 minutes.
Are any of them Scotch mists?
No.
So we also have Greg here.
Yes, thanks, Drake.
If someone can get off their phone to pass the microphone, that'd be great.
It wasn't me.
Greg, how you doing, dude?
I'm fantastic.
Are you? Yeah, get on that microphone. There we go. And it adjusts and everything.
No. You've had beer, and you've had drinks. Come on. You're good. Come
You're
on.
good, baby.
Don't be nervous. You're fine. You're
Yeah,
fine.
we just, what's your social and your mom's maiden name and your first pet, and we'll get right through this.
He's allowed to ease into this.
No, that's
It's
true.
fine.
That's true.
Give him a chance. He's been on the mic for like 10 seconds.
It's fine. I'm just making sure.
So we're gonna chat with Greg in a little bit. We don't have to do it now.
Yeah.
Kyle's breaking our freaking studio over there. Come on,
God
dude.
damn it! Wow. You know what? Just
I'm an engineer.
What time are you
It's
leaving?
fine. You never know.
Yeah, it was just a terrible design in the first place. Is really what I'll get from
We
that.
can't have nice things.
Let me make you a spreadsheet from everything you should have done right in this place.
Starting with the paint. Woof.
I hope I wasn't too painful during that whole.
No, not at all. I'm totally messing
I
with
hope I'm
you.
not like laying into everyone, but
what do
I
you-
could
No!
really lay into you guys if you want.
Okay, number one. So I'm going to do this again. Number one, fuck you. And number two, no, it was fantastic.
It was great.
Don't worry, it was
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic.
But that was in the past.
yeah.
Let's talk about the future, which is Greg and Greg's stories.
Stories. I got stories.
So you are like what I would call a prolific storyteller.
I hope so.
You like to have a good time and you like to tell stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So we're going to hear all about, and I have some questions for you too.
All right.
God, we're going to have a lot of
All
questions.
about my cast member days.
Yes, all about your cast member days, because there's a lot of shit that I want to know.
Yeah. And
About-
there's a lot of shit to know.
Let me look at my my list
Handy
here.
dandy, schedule.
We're almost ready for our second drink, according to this, but we're not going to do that. Okay.
I want a drink. Come on.
Let's go. You guys want to do some Disney news?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right, let's do that. Oh, you know what? I didn't play. I didn't play my Disney news because we didn't do Disney news last time. So let's just do this.
Oh, right.
March in the past, present, and future with all the news that's fit to cover. It's the Ears Up Disney News.
That's my favorite.
You know, that's Charlie's voice out there.
It is. Announcer man.
Disney debuts a princess baking set to help you make magic in your kitchen. They recently revealed princess-themed baking tools as part of their new home and kitchenware line. The set is marketed towards both adults and kids, as first pointed out by Bustle, some website. And we have a feeling Disney fanatics everywhere will be clearing out their cupboards to make room for the new products. 2 mixing bowls, one featuring Snow White, Aurora, Mulan, Rapunzel, Merida.
From Brave.
Murder, she wrote. Murder, she wrote. Ariel, Cinderella. Cinderella, Tiana, Jasmine, and Pocahontas. And it says, listen to your heart. Because you need inspiration. You need inspiration while you're beating eggs for breakfast.
I knew it. Sorry.
Wow, Jeremy. High 10.
10.
Terrence.
He meant that shit.
Yeah.
All right.
While the other bowl displays the quote, magic begins within.
Does it though?
Each bowl also features a spout on its lip for easy pouring. Included with the 2 bowls are BPA-free plastic,
Sweet.
colorful whisks with pink and purple screen prints. Each whisk also has... Imagine writing this article explaining that a whisk has a hole at the end of its handle so you can hang them up while storing.
So it's a whisk.
All right. It's a whisk.
Yeah.
I want to know where the prince ones are. Why are these princesses?
Literally what I was thinking. So my
Does
wife...
Disney not understand about like the whole...
You cannot
things are
separate
very
the genders
sexist
that
right
way.
now?
Exactly.
Right.
Well, also, it's just a new thing. Just put it on the shelves and sell it. We don't need an article.
You don't need a press
I
release.
know.
This is in People.
you
People
kidding
magazine,
me?
dude. Yeah.
It is kind of strange though.
I
'cause
wonder if
my-
that was like a paid ad placement.
I mean, possibly, but do you think Disney has to pay to place an ad about anything?
No.
it's
I
probably
do,
something
actually.
Yeah.
They have whole news sites that are set up that are just to put in news, like whole fake news sites.
Wow.
It's true.
Fake news.
Never heard of that. Is that a new?
But
is
like
that new?
By the
they're-
GOP, actually.
They
so it's
own the
fine.
news sites. Like, name one of them. Do you know one of them?
No, I don't know.
Wait, Disney owns news
Wait,
sites?
whenever
you've
you sites,
seen-
so CNN.
Oh, like Oh My Disney.
No, like Oh My Disney. Like they have,
ESPN.
they have like 10 of those, and
Yeah.
they use those to just get people coming to the parks.
That's insane.
Yeah, I totally think they paid for this.
All right, well, there you go. Disney also has ugly Christmas sweaters,
Oh,
Yes, please.
which I thought this team would really appreciate. Here are some of them.
bless you.
Bless you. Apparently, Jeremy's allergic to ugly Christmas sweaters.
Bro, the genie one?
The Genie one looks pretty dope,
happening.
dude. The Lion King one looks pretty dope, too.
Mary Poppins, holy crap. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
It says have a supercalifragilistic expialidocious Christmas.
God, they're really pushing.
I know. The Avengers one looks kind of terrible, to be honest with you. The
Homie.
Spider-Man one looks dope. The Black Panther, that looks pretty killer right there. I'm not
If
gonna
you guys can't see, I do have my fist up right now because I will do that.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
I am here for Wakanda. You can pre-order the entire Disney lineup on a site called Share Sale. Just Google it. I don't know, for $55 each, with free shipping.
Or you could buy them on eBay.
That's pretty well. That's probably true too.
So no Haunted Mansion, no Small World, no they're all just this
different
IP.
IPs.
Yeah. You're upset about that, Jeremy?
Well, come on, give me something.
He's actually a Haunted Mansion ugly Christmas sweater. I would rock that in a
That would
heartbeat.
be pretty dope.
Well, these
Madame
are
Leota
the
on there?
attractions that have holiday overlays in the park. So why wouldn't I want an ugly Christmas sweater to go with them?
I don't have
Like
the
a
answer
small
to
world
that.
with like $200 on.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know.
$200. That's
But it has to have battery, so it actually plays the song the entire
yeah.
time. as well.
Oh, and like,
my
oh my
everything
gosh.
you ever knew.
If you had your Christmas party, I would wear that the entire time. And people start
We're
talking.
going
I'm
to
like,
have
oh, stop talking. Just listen to my
I feel
sweater
like you
for a
can.
second.
I feel like Greg can wire something like that up.
Oh, absolutely.
You're like an
be hitting you.
electronics
Let's
dude.
do it.
I'll be hitting you up.
That would be amazing.
You
And
said
then you
where
could-
are they? Like you have that already here?
No. They're the hats.
Oh, okay.
Here's a news article about Epcot. Is a new country coming to Epcot at Walt Disney World?
No.
I've been hearing this for 15 years.
Jeremy's nonplussed by literally every single thing. What do you guys have? You guys have You guys have ball caps with the light up.
Yeah, with the Made with Magic hats.
The Made with Magic hats.
Yeah, so I
That's
just
insane.
ripped off all the uncomfortable hat part.
Yeah.
And just put the ears in the baseball caps.
Damn.
And they sync up to the shows still.
It's because it's the same components, right?
Are you gonna start selling these things soon?
Hey, if you want to make them, I'll put them on a website that no one visits.
Cup hats.
Light ears. That's really cool. I mean,
It's
they're-
actually funny, like when we wear them to the parks and stuff, we get at least, 10, 15 people asking about him. Like this guy chased
Really?
us down the other night on, was that Thursday? Like, did you guys buy these here or what? Like, I'm like, no, we made them.
yeah.
That's amazing, though.
That's
because
pretty
they
cool,
look better
dude.
than the headband ones that they have.
Definitely.
That's awesome.
They're more comfortable
They
too.
look way more
It's a
comfortable.
baseball
way more
cap. Of
comfortable.
course it is. That's
Right.
awesome.
Get the sun out your eye and everything.
I know.
Nice. And you just wire them up.
Yep.
Nice, dude. Look at
So
you.
now I
Got
have
it.
2 reasons to hit it. So number 1, Small World sweater, and then number 2, I'll be sending you guys a San Francisco Giants hat to do that for.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate it.
I'll totally do it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks in advance. Jeremy's examining. If you get the thumbs up, get the New Jersey thumbs up.
Hey, I approve. Oh yeah, the Fonz, approve.
Let's see. A strong rumor is making the rounds at the theme park, which is Epcot, of course, is finally ready to welcome a new country. The India Pavilion is in the works, supposedly, and will feature a massive new dark ride, racist, based on the Jungle Book live-action movie. The report claims Walt Disney Imagineering is fully involved in development of the India Pavilion, although there's no confirmation from the resort itself. If the rumors are true, the new Jungle Book ride would use a system that has been dazzling visitors at Shanghai Disneyland for a few years. Pirates of the Caribbean Battle for the Sunken Treasure ride is an immersive experience using the latest technology, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I remember walking through Imagineering and see this, like, have like the Hammerhead dude. They were like working on him. I was like, that's killer. I just wanted to crowbar in that I'm cool like that. So I don't know, Jeremy. What do you think? India Pavilion?
There was a time when Epcot didn't need a new movie to make a new country. Countries were enough unto their own.
I see your
be
point.
there,
Why
right?
is the Jungle
Oh
Book
well,
need to
now
be there?
India's good enough for us because we made a movie. But actually,
Got to be a tie-in, dude.
these countries have enough culture, believe it or not, to sustain a pavilion at your circle of countries on their own.
Especially
and I'm really
India.
offended by this.
Yeah.
It's really ridiculous, and I feel like the more IP coming into the World Showcase
Here it
was
comes.
okay. So here we
Here
go.
it comes.
All
It's a secret show. Go
Back
for it,
it
bro.
up. World Showcase was the one place in Disney that you could go and you could experience. You could do the things that a World's Fair was meant to do. You could see other cultures. You could interact with other people who were there. They brought them in. There's this like the exchange programs, and now it's like we're gonna put a spinner in UK because you can't. You obviously are too stupid to understand what the UK is, so you have to fly around in a circle. And now, oh, you know what? We made a movie and it sort of relates to India. So now India's good enough for our stupid World Showcase. I'm really getting annoyed. Sorry, that's it.
Don't they have like a Pakistan pavilion or what is that?
No, they don't have a Pakistan pavilion. Petros, I don't know what you're talking about.
Isn't there
You think of Morocco?
Isn't there like yes, Morocco. Yeah.
Morocco is there.
Yeah.
And you know what's
Amazing
most offensive
food.
about that? Is that's where you get to meet Aladdin. Well, guess what? Aladdin isn't from Morocco.
Morocco,
He's from
exactly.
the Middle East.
Yeah.
And Morocco is North African. And those are two different places, actually.
Most people
Disney.
wouldn't know that.
Next.
I gotta toss in here.
She was on camera right there.
No.
Next.
Don't worry.
Drink my
He
wine.
is.
Oh my god.
Go ahead, Kyle. Jump in on
So
that.
there's two things. First off, I think they're probably developing this Jungle Cruise ride. Second off, I don't think an India Pavilion is coming soon, or if it is, it's probably not coming with the Jungle Cruise ride.
Jungle Book.
Jungle Book. Sorry, thank
Jeez.
you. The thing is that the countries in Epcot World Showcase are still part of a deal to this day where they provide personnel, resources, and supplies and funding for that pavilion. To this day, they still are sponsoring the pavilions, each and every one. So when they've been talking about Brazil and all these rumors have been popping up about Brazil, they've always been talking about, well, the Brazilian government isn't quite able to fund it, or the Brazilian government's pushing for it, but Disney's pushing back, or something like that. Saying now that India is coming out and doing this, I don't see India saying, okay, yeah, let's do a Jungle Cruise ride. Or Jungle Book ride, excuse me.
Hey, man.
But the thing is, on top of that, I also see that Disney has an India already in Disney World.
They do?
Yes.
What in Animal Kingdom?
Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
They do.
Pandora? You talking about Pandora?
And I can see a Jungle Book ride
And-
being a great addition
Yeah.
to Animal Kingdom and would make a lot more sense as an IP there than
That
in
is
Epcot.
That's actually a great point.
I bet you money that there's
Yeah.
actual validity to this rumor, but they're just getting the
wrong
details
area.
mixed up.
That's a good point. Yeah. That's a
wow.
very good point.
Now, how do you
Look
feel,
at that.
Jeremy? Do you feel silly?
I feel much better. Much more calm.
My question is, are they going to add The
I could be
Rock
totally
to the
wrong.
Jungle Cruise the Jungle Cruise ride? When
Yeah.
the movie comes out with The Rock, are they going to add him to the ride?
I sure hope
Oh, I
so.
forgot The Rock was
They
in it.
said they were going to make alterations to the ride based on the movie.
Damn it, I was not
But
serious.
they walk back on those things all the time.
Okay.
That's
So-
true.
Like they did with Pirates.
That
Jack
doesn't.
Sparrow should not be. Never mind. Sorry.
He should not be in that ride.
No, especially at the end when he's sitting on this throne, he always looks like a dehydrated
I
skin.
know.
Hey, at least they got rid of the waterfall.
Like, why is Keith Richards?
The
in this
waterfall
ride?
was
What's
the
going
worst
on?
thing ever. Have you guys ridden Disney World's Pirates since they've updated it?
I have
When
not.
did they update? Oh, since
When
the
they
thing
added
now.
the photo. Since they added the photo. They have a photo op now on the Disney World Pirates of
What?
the Caribbean.
Yeah, it takes your picture at the most like random spot.
So you know when you're about to go down
everybody
the drop
looks so bored.
and,
making out and
and you're,
stuff like that,
you're
yeah.
looking at the skull and he's telling you the whole Dead Man Tells No Details thing.
Yeah.
And you probably have a blank stare on your face. Imagine if during the middle of a spiel, when you're still approaching the waterfall, you haven't gone down it yet, all of a sudden there's a bright flash and it takes your photo.
Am I seizing? I don't know.
The whole car just looks confused,
That
like
is terrible.
what's going on?
God, I wish all of them were like that.
Just at the most like when you're loading in the car. Mm-hmm. Oh God! I don't understand what's happening. If you want exciting talk with Imagineer, this is
Tune into Ears Up. We've got it right here.
Thursday, October 4th. It's produced by MIT, which is a college. Jeremy, I don't know if you knew that or not.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. It's going to be webcast as well, so you can go to media.mit.edu/events. And anyway, I would read the story, but there's literally no story. It's just what an Imagineer is, and then there's like 5 names and then their background. So I don't really care.
Cool story, bro.
But that's
Great.
cool. Yeah. It's free.
Sounds great.
So
What are
there
the
you go.
names? Who are the people?
Oh, dude, now I gotta friggin' do it.
All right, then don't do it. It's fine.
No, I thought it was Jeremy asking, so I'll do it for you.
Oh, okay.
Amy Jupiter.
No.
Next.
That's a name though.
Now on the main stage, Amy
gross.
Jupiter.
Dirt.
She EP'd on Jim Henson's Muppet 3D thing and Disneyland Paris's Circle Vision Visionarium starring Robin Williams.
I don't know what that is.
Sarah Thatcher.
Okay.
She's Senior R&D Imagineer on Walt Disney Imagineering Advanced Development Project. Emily Salvador.
Dave Fisher.
Dave Fisher is a, quote, nice fellow.
He's a good guy.
I wish that was my quote. Just a nice fellow.
He's just a nice dude. He's not even, doesn't really work for Disney. He's just a nice dude we found at the deli. So.
Yeah, he sounded like a nice fellow. So
I just want to bring him out here. I don't know. Let's do another story here. Apparently, Disney doesn't understand why Solo failed.
Because literally nobody cares.
Because
saturation.
no one cared. You think?
Yeah.
Bob Iger made a statement regarding the recent mistakes made with the Star Wars franchise and how Disney plans to combat the seemingly dwindling audience engagement. He says, quote, I made the timing decision, and as I look back, I think the mistake that I made, I take the blame, was a little too much too fast. You can expect some slowdown, but that doesn't mean we're not going to make films. J.J. Abrams is busy making episode IX, which is what, 9? Are you speaking German at me?
9.
We have creative entities, including Game of Thrones creators David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, who are developing sagas of their own. And we're just at the point where we're going to start making decisions about what comes next after JJ's, but I think we're going to be a little bit more careful about volume and timing, and the buck stops there on that. So apparently they're also going to be slowing down Star Wars in addition to figuring out what happened with Solo. Slowing down Star Wars isn't a bad idea. More time between releases means higher quality films, theoretically speaking, which is what we've been saying on this show since friggin' day one. Makes me so mad. Get out of here. No thanks, pop-up. Who does pop-ups anymore? But too much volume wasn't the problem in the first place. An abundance of Star Wars wasn't what killed Solo. They say an absence of creativity and vision. Marvel Studios managed to turn out 20 films in a decade and create tons of television spin-offs. So why don't we have severe superhero fatigue if we have too much Star Wars, people? So they're basically just saying it was a terrible movie. Instead of a fatigue, which I still haven't seen it. I'm waiting for it to come out on streaming.
Because that's a perfect example of never cared.
Yeah. I never cared.
I wanted to
cared.
see it, and it's on iTunes right now, and I looked it up. I was like, $20? Psh, nope.
No.
Wait till it comes on Netflix in a month.
Yeah.
Not going to watch that on there, yeah.
It's more the movie ticket.
Right.
I know,
Why would
right?
you
I just-
Exactly right.
I wouldn't have paid
$20.
that much to go see it in the theater.
Which is why I
so I'm
didn't
not
go
gonna sit
see
at
it.
home and watch it for that much. It's
absolutely.
insane.
Give Brad a microphone.
Brad.
Holy moly.
What are we drinking now here,
So
Brad?
this is the French 95. It's a take on the classic French 75. It's bourbon, lemon juice,
Taste that.
champagne, and some simple syrup.
Champagne.
You're scratching me right where I itch, Brad.
Yeah, you might want to stand a little farther back.
I'm not going to lie, Brad. You're kind of killing it, dude. Good job.
All right, I need a number from somebody.
Number 2.
All right.
Bev.
That's
No,
my
that's actually our
She wants a
poop
big drink.
It's actually that's actually my favorite number, even though it's the poop
number 2?
Even though it's the poop number.
So you have a favorite? How old are you? You have a favorite number?
That's why I picked number 7.
I am sorry.
No, that's why I picked numbers. That's my favorite number as well. It's 7.
Oh.
Lucky number 7.
Yeah, exactly.
When I played sports in high school, my jersey number was number 2.
My jersey
Sports?
number was number 7.
Water girl?
What
Funny
sport were you?
I'm
At volleyball.
She played.
What sport
I
were
was
you?
varsity, just
played
for the
left out?
record.
Oh, yeah, you were in JV.
I was varsity.
Kyle
My-
is showing me the photo that's taken on the Pirates ride.
It's so
and
good.
everyone
Like, "Mer."
just looks knocked out, dude.
So are they in a movie
Hands under
theater?
your chin,
Because it
waiting.
doesn't look like they're even on a ride at that point. It just
Yeah.
looks like they're watching a movie.
There are 2 dudes in the back just cuddling, so that's cool.
I'm telling you, everyone's gonna be making out at that point.
Just like he looks like he fainted. Honestly, that's how
Not. Hold on, let me see that.
Oh, my God, this is great.
he's just like hanging.
Literally everybody in the picture is like, what?
Yeah, I do like the guy who's like his elbows are on his knees and he's
may
just
be
resting
drunk.
his head on his hands, going, "I'm
He was
waiting
part
for
of
the
our
ride."
party.
It's like whatever, dude.
Possibility that guy is drunk. Actually,
It's like the Space Mountain one at Disney World too, where you like go around that weird corner right before the lift, and
Yeah.
that's like right where they take your picture. And
Yes.
It's like, what? Like, why here?
this is fantastic.
All these drops.
Yeah, it's a good drink, right?
Fantastic drink.
Yeah,
It's a good one.
Yeah. If I'm not able to say this later on, I'm glad I was here. Having a lot of fun. Later on, I'll be like, I love you guys.
You guys are the best. So, Greg, let me talk to you for a second.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
What do you want to know?
We got another couple drinks in you. How long did you work at the parks, man?
I wasn't there that long, actually. I was out there for like 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
I worked on Finding Nemo.
Yes.
So attractions.
Okay.
It was great.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else did you do?
I did fireworks and parade control as well. So when you're on attractions, you also do crowd control. It's called GSO.
Okay.
So I think it's guest service operation or something.
Sounds right.
Yeah. I mean, they love acronyms. So.
Clearly.
Works for us.
I mean, some of my favorite shifts, though, were like the fireworks shifts.
Why?
I don't know. It was easy. You got to interact with the guests a lot.
Is that good? Like, do you like doing that? Because I wouldn't want to do that.
It's fun when...
It's like customer service, but with like really aggressive, sweaty people, which I'm
for
not
sure.
really into.
It's fun when they're nice.
Yeah.
Like...
Sure, yeah, because when they're nice, they're like the nicest customers any business can ever have.
But that's
Oh, for
never.
sure.
That's the problem. Like people
right.
are so aggressive there at firework time. Fire time.
Fire time.
It's a great drink, by the way. At firework time, like there's times where like people are pushing me and my kids out of the way, and I'm like, God.
Yeah, and there's a lot of
Chill,
like,
dude.
I mean, there's a lot of safety issues surrounding like parades and fireworks. Like you have to have like tech alleys or escape alleys, and
Yeah.
people would be like, well, why can I stand here? Because we have to be able to save you if there's an issue. Like we have to be able to egress crowds, like things like that. And that's when people got like really heated and just not pleasant.
So
But,
why 4 to 5 months?
I moved from San Diego when I graduated college
Okay.
to Orange County, and it was just like a job that I did. They were hiring. I've always wanted to work there,
Okay.
so it was a good opportunity to do it.
Okay.
And, yeah. Then
Okay.
I found my job and
Perfect.
Said,
went my
"See
way.
ya."
Yeah.
Yeah. Minimum wage bullshit.
Yeah.
Right.
Get out of here,
I mean,
man.
$9.81 an hour working attractions.
Damn, are
It's
you
great.
kidding me?
Oh yeah, that was 2011, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
981 in 2011.
But that is more than I would expect for
That's
some
not
reason.
terrible.
981
For a starting job out
I'm
of college?
I'm thinking at it from a completely different perspective. I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't.
But for 2011, and that's like minimum wage.
So
Like
what do
that's
they pay? What 982 now? Like what do they pay? Like
don't know.
minimum wage?
Well,
now?
I mean, it depends on where you're working in the park too. So that was just like an attractions. Subs made a little bit more because we were actually controlling a vehicle.
Okay,
Like
okay.
speed wise and everything. You have to like keep everything on track.
Okay.
And then other attractions like Autopia, you would get like a 25-cent hazard pay on top of like the 981.
Wow.
I feel like you should get like a $2.
That's to pay for
not
your
to kill
medical
yourself.
bills.
That's, no. Hazard pay is literally to pay for your medical bills if you get like
Jeez.
hit by an Autopia car and you
So
break your
It's actually because of the fumes.
I was gonna say you're coughing
Right.
like you have a
Yeah.
black lung.
So you're
at
supposed to
this point.
save a quarter from each, a quarter an hour from your paycheck, and then what you put it, what person in their 20s is going to be, okay, I'm going to segment this
No one.
out.
Right. Literally
That's
no.
ridiculous.
Also, a quarter for paycheck doesn't pay for anything.
nothing.
No.
There's no flex spending. There's nothing
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Anyway, it was a great experience. Besides the pay, no, it really was. Like I just totally painted a terrible
came up-
picture of working
Yeah,
there,
well,
but it really is great.
Yeah.
Who came up with 981? Right, like we could
Some asshole
You can't
somewhere.
round it up to 10 so everything's easier. Like it's not just nicer for you, but like easier for the freaking accountant.
For the yeah.
Right.
Like times 10. It's so much easier.
They're not like paying out with like change, Jeremy. It's written on a check. Like it doesn't matter.
Don't forget that 1 cent.
I'm sorry. I'm contracted at 981, but this is clearly at 979 rates. Can you please?
Oh my God.
Let's go.
No, there were people like working there that were on old contracts, like on old union contracts, where when you would work there in the 70s, you would make a living. You could buy a house, have a family of 4, and be comfy in Orange County. I mean, obviously housing markets have changed since then, but there were people working there on old contracts where, you know, they're working on Main Street making $60,000 a year.
Wow.
That's not bad.
Yeah. But those are very
They
rare
don't exist
situations.
anymore.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or they're not offered anymore.
Right, right.
I'm trying to figure out if that would make me a better employee or a worse employee.
I feel like it'd make me a worse
If you're
employee.
so the person not making 60K.
No. If you're in the union making $60K working on Main Street in a shop somewhere.
So
No,
my
never cared.
my opinion, since I manage unionized and non-unionized
here we go.
employees.
Here's an expert.
Yeah, I'm just saying, unionized employees are the worst employees in the world. Yes. And it takes a freaking act of Congress to fire anyone in the union.
Yeah.
I hate unions. And I'm not in a union, but I hate it because it protects people, and it protects the inept, and it protects the people who really don't care about their job at all. And then you have the people who care about their job, and they can't do anything because you have to balance the two. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think the people who are making $60K a year, they've been there for so long, they're just kind of coasting. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, it actually makes everyone worse because you have people who are making a lot of money who are like, I don't care.
Exactly.
I'm always
gonna
going to
make
make
this
this.
regardless.
And then you have another segment of workers who's like, why should I care? I'm never going to make that.
They're like
And I will-
resenting
so
that.
you
Doesn't
have
care.
so resentment. So you actually have an entire workforce that doesn't give a
Crap.
But they're fighting. The people who are non-unionized are actually fighting for every advancement in wage they can get, and they won't get it. And the people who are unionized are getting it no matter what they do.
But we're not talking about union versus non-union here. We're talking about like 55ers or 65ers that are
No,
on
you're right.
old
You're
contracts. And these guys are dedicated to their job. They could have retired by now.
Right.
And they're still working because they like working in the
That's
park.
true.
These people
That's
are
a
the
good
people
point,
who
yeah.
are famous cast members that, like, I don't want to say they deserve the pay because every cast member I think deserves to get paid a little bit more.
Right.
But they've been there and they're on an old contract, and yeah, they get paid more, but they're definitely dedicated to their job.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like even
Sorry, Kyle.
I'm sorry.
But I mean, I think.
Shit.
Well, but no. But
I'm gonna leave the room.
what Kyle is saying is, I think that the people.
We don't talk about
Roasted
Fight Club.
across.
God damn.
I think that the people who are on these contracts that you're talking about, they're from a different era. They're not the people who work like somebody our age who's
Yeah.
in a union. Like, it's not the same thing.
What was-
And I get what you're saying.
what was
Like,
the name of the
it's a
chef?
different era. It's a different work mindset.
Yeah.
What was the name of the chef that just retired?
I don't remember, but
But you know
that's,
who I'm talking
that's
about.
one of
So
them.
yeah, I understand that.
And there's also, what's the guy's name?
Oscar.
Oh,
Oscar
yeah,
Martinez.
Oscar,
yeah.
yeah.
What's the guy's name that works Main Street and the Tiki Room that I'm forgetting right now?
I don't remember. I've seen him a couple
Maynard?
times though.
Maynard.
Yeah, Tiki Maynard.
Like
Yeah.
Maynard's one of them.
Maynard?
Yeah.
Maynard. Tiki
Maynard.
Maynard. That
Maynard's
dude,
fucking
and
great.
honestly, I like the Tiki Room, but when he was the one there, when I went on it, it was the most entertaining time I've ever
But
had.
those
in
are
there
the
as well.
that's the cast members that we're talking about.
That
Right?
Well,
makes
that's the
sense.
quality cast member from, I mean, that era,
era,
though.
yeah.
Like, that's when being part of, like, traditions actually meant something. I mean,
Yeah.
going through, like, traditions courses now, I was explaining to Kyle the other day, it's just so cut and dry corporate. Like,
Right,
you're not
yeah.
actually getting, like, the ideals behind being a cast member.
Right.
Like, or what it means to actually give good customer service.
Okay.
So traditions is the course that you take when you're onboarded. to
Exactly,
Disney,
yeah.
right?
So basically, you get hired, you take a couple days of traditions, which they're talk about like the 5 keys and how you're supposed to interact with guests. You do like a couple tours of the park, and then you get split off into your actual attraction like trainings.
Beth,
So
put
de-
your phone down.
I'm not.
Okay.
So depending on where you're gonna work, that's when that other part of training takes place. So like for the subs, I had like 5 days of additional training after traditions courses, which I think was like a week.
And do you think that traditions has changed?
I
in the
mean-
last 10 years, like, do you think that it's a different course now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Teaches-
It's so corporate cut and dry now. Like it's not. There's no like heart and soul in it anymore, really, or it doesn't seem like that anyway.
What are the 5 keys, Greg?
Oh, does he not know?
Safety,
That's a key.
Is that number 1?
and then the other 4.
I mean, he's not wrong. Give the guy credit for that.
No.
Here's something that's cool. Whoopi Goldberg confirms cameo in Disney's Sister Act reboot.
Oh shit.
Now I'm back.
I just had the song from Sister Act 2 stuck in my head this morning. The one with the rap part.
Yeah, I know. It's so awesome. Actually, have a yes.
Joyful, joyful,
Ready, Brad.
Lord, we adore that part.
In my heart.
Whoopi Goldberg says, so we've been all over Disney begging, and they've decided that they're going to go in a different direction with Sister Act 2. So it will not be Sister Act 3. It will be a brand new rendition of Sister Act, and I guess I'll walk through a scene, and that's how they say, oh, I was a part of it. So it sounds like she's not
She
very
sounds
happy
really-
about it. Yeah.
She's like, I guess I'll walk
I
through.
love Whoopi Goldberg for that reason right there. That's pretty awesome.
I can't wait for this to be a Spectro segment because that music is killer.
Those movies are fantastic. Love them.
The first one was amazing. The second
So-
one
The second one was good too. Lauren,
Tell, forget everything.
I'm sorry, but Jeremy's best rapper of all time, Lauryn Hill, in that movie. Thank you.
It's true. Does Lauryn Hill rap?
She does.
Yeah.
she sure does.
I'd
So-
be playing Al Capone and defecating on your microphones from Fuji's. She was amazing.
I mean, that's not very cool. I don't get it.
It was really good.
In the
I don't
Fugees.
get it.
Ready or not, here we come.
Hey, raise your hands if your family has ever killed a famous person. Oh, wait.
Actually, he didn't do the shooting. He just did the hit.
Supposedly. FBI.
Supposedly.
FBI were watching
FBI, CIA.
you.
Long story. Long story.
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys later.
They were there that night, homie.
They may not remember.
Wow, you're calling their memory into question. That's
there's a
fucked
lot-
up, dude.
there's some drinking.
You did training for subs, right?
Yeah.
And then at the end of training, you had to take like
Hey, there
a
you
test.
there
it
you
is.
are.
You had to take like a test.
Oh, which test? The computer test?
You could talk about that, but what about the other like first day?
Oh, first day walkarounds?
No, I was talking about the girl in front of you.
Oh, that wasn't mine. That was my last day.
Oh, that,
was
I know it
her
was you,
first
but it was
day.
her first day.
Yeah, she.
There was a test with a girl?
So when you're
I need
training,
to get a job at Disneyland.
when you're training on subs, you have like in the little helm seat, you know, you just see their like butt and legs when you get on the
Finish up your
vehicle.
drink,
Oh,
Eric.
well.
I just had to pound mine because I am definitely running behind.
So your trainer sits behind you when you're actually training on the sub, and you have
Okay.
to do. I think it's something like, I think it's 5 hours of training or something. I don't know. Anyway, so I felt super bad. It was my last day, and there's this girl that was training behind me on the sub, and like
Yeah.
everybody knows that there's a like trainee on the track and everything.
Okay.
And I'm like pulling in, and I dock my sub. I have like the helmsman on the dock actually like put the lasso on and all that, and she hit me so hard from behind.
Oh dear.
And
In the sub?
it like from her sub.
she was driving a
didn't-
sub and rear-ended
She
you.
didn't stop it. Yeah. So you're usually not supposed to really call. Like you're supposed to call it in.
Okay.
And if it's like a little tap, it's like all right, it's a little tap. Like engineering doesn't need to come out here. But it was so hard that like I flew forward. All the guests kind of like screamed, and I'm like, oh no. I'm like, I'm so sorry, and I like had to like call it in,
Yeah.
and like I think she was transferred to like Astro Orbiter or something, like because it is like a technical ride to run, like subs are like for sure, like they're pretty complicated and like complex.
Yeah,
but-
we were talking about it on our last show.
Well, and
Yeah.
That's what you helped out with, right?
that was a great thing because when I was actually trying to do the history of it, I was talking to both of them as well, and they were telling me about it, and I was like, I thought it was completely automated.
No.
But no, not at all.
The only part of that ride that is automated is the sub is on a track. That's basically it.
That makes
There's
me-
no automation.
That makes me want to ride that ride less. If that makes sense.
If that's possible.
I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure it is, but
So next time you're in the park and you're looking at the lagoon, if you're like, you can see it really well if you're in line for like the monorail, like up on that track.
Okay.
You'll see these green lights that are blinking all around the lagoon, like low on like eye level where the operator sub operator would be. So those lights are supposed to blink when your right or your left shoulder hits that light. So as
That's
you're
how
going
you know
around,
you're on time. It's like a metronome
right.
for
There's
the...
literally like two lines on the side of your like port that if that light is blinking in that port, then you're like on your profile. If you're going too fast, then you're going to start overlapping tracks like sound tracks because
Right.
there's like two lasers basically that are or IR sensors that are basically saying where you are on the track. And if you're going too slow, then you're going to get weird gaps and stuff. And then like within the actual caverns, there's countdown clocks, like say 20 feet ahead of you that say 20 on them.
wow.
And then, or the countdown clock would say 20, and there's these like blocks in front of that say 0, 10, 15, 20. So those lights have to be on your right shoulder when that clock has that right number.
That's insane.
God.
So-
you think they could just automate the damn thing?
That's really hard.
Right, you would totally think so.
Put it on an omnivore system. It's fine.
Yeah, seriously.
It'll be fine.
But
Put
you're,
people down the stairs when they're voting.
But I have a question. Like, this
Yeah.
sounds like it's something for a more experienced ride operator.
Right, you would-
But you worked there from 4 to 5 months. So
right.
like,
So it is
how-
it is a first attraction in Tomorrowland, surprisingly. So they basically will choose people that they think can handle it.
Even
Like
less.
that are like technically minded.
you showed aptitude, is what you're saying.
Guess so, kind of. Yeah. But there's like a hierarchy of attractions. I mean, I know Tomorrowlands. I don't know really any of the other lands.
Apparently,
so like,
Astro Orbiters is very low.
Oh, please.
well, it's Astro Orbiter and Captain EO or whatever's in that theater. That's
Yeah.
basically considered one attraction. And then Star Tours or Buzz Lightyear is also one attraction. Star Tours is a second, and so is Autopia. And then third attractions are Space Mountain and Monorail. So you have to be there for a certain amount of time in order to get to a third attraction.
Oh, Jesus, we have more drinks.
Yes.
So I have another question for you.
Yeah.
If you work
Look
as
at Jeremy
a
running the interview.
sorry, Petra. So
Sorry, Murray.
if you work as a driver of the submarines,
Yeah.
can you in any day be transferred to another ride, or is that your specialty and that's all you do?
So if that's
Or could
your
they be like,
first-
tomorrow it's Splash Mountain, have fun.
No, you stay on basically on your side of the park. So, or you stay within your land is how they do it. So, with Tomorrowland, you would work at Nemo for about 3 months, and then you would be eligible to cross train to your second attraction. So, it's actually funny. The week that I was leaving, I was cross training to Autopia. So, I didn't cross train ever because I'm like, well, I'm leaving. So, but then you would stay there, I think, for another 6 months, and then you're again eligible to cross train to your third attraction. But for most of the point, you stay within your land or area. When I was there, Cars Land was opening, so they took a lot of the third attraction operators and took them to Cars Land because they were experienced, basically, and then they upgraded everybody into their second and third attractions.
Bev over here eating ice. Again. For whatever reason.
I really like ice.
Bev, how's the bedroom?
What?
We got to tell her. I mean, you know. You know that old wives' tale? Well, now Kyle has to tell you.
People, they say if you chew ice, you're sexually frustrated.
No. I've been told that I chew ice because I'm anemic, and I like the desire to eat things with no nutritional. I don't know. It's some like eating things with no nutritional value thing.
I'm gonna go with the
Seems weird.
sexual frustration.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
No, that's true. The anemia thing. Yeah.
You have a microphone.
That's true. It's anemia.
All right, Brad, we have a new drink. What's
Brad, get over here, dude. What is this? It tastes like I'm eating a marshmallow.
So this is called Mr. Bally High. It's a classic tiki cocktail from the 50s. But the unusual twist is that it has coffee brandy in it.
I would say there's coffee in that.
Doesn't taste like a fire roasted marshmallow.
No, it tastes like a nice roast, a nice coffee roast.
It tastes like in about 18 minutes I'm gonna be tanked.
No, the coffee will keep you up.
This is
You're
also
fine.
appropriate because Bev chose this, and this is probably the strongest drink on the list.
Shit.
Mazel, Bev.
We've been doing this for 49 minutes.
Mazel. We have 2 hours and 11 minutes left.
I need some more ice.
It is Jamaican rum, Puerto Rican rum, pineapple juice,
Oh,
coffee
snap.
brandy, and simple syrup.
I actually really like this.
This is real good.
I actually tried it just because it was unusual, and
Yeah.
I found I really liked it, and I had to bring it to try it.
It's a good one.
Well, Kyle, did you even taste it?
That coffee brandy.
Wow, Kyle just pounded that.
Damn, dude.
I could have like 8 of these.
I can probably should. There's no way I should drink this whole thing. I will. Oh.
No, you can.
Bastard.
No,
Matt
you
just
can't.
gave him some
I
more.
was gonna give him some of mine.
No, finish it. This is good. This is really good.
Yeah, I enjoy this a lot.
I'm definitely a coffee fan.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're
So, like,
welcome.
This and coffee salad.
why are we?
I chose
Because you
this.
picked the number.
Yeah,
It would have come out eventually. You know that, right? Ice cream man. You can hear the ice cream. We've had the window open the whole time because it's really nice outside and it gets very hot in here. So apologize about the ice cream. So you hear this song. I don't know if you can hear it over the microphone, but it's Fur Elise. Yeah. But it's like in a minor key, and it's just very depressing Fur Elise version. It's just weird.
Who wants ice cream? If you do, come outside.
You need a number for me?
25 cents.
2. No. Well, let's go with. Have we done 7?
7, 6, and 2 are gone.
Because 7's my lucky number. It's my favorite number. Let's
are you,
do
6?
5. 5.
That coffee.
Hi, Taryn.
Hi, can I tell you something really
No.
sad?
No.
So
No.
I'm feeding the kid, and
That is sad.
she starts pooping. And she starts pooping so hard that she started crying.
What?
And then she didn't poop.
Oh no.
So sad.
She sucked it back in? Is
I
that
don't
what
know,
happened?
but there was no poop.
She does that sometimes. She's like, she gets all tomato red.
Yeah. But she started crying, and I was like, oh.
She constipated?
I guess. I
happens.
don't know.
Some Pedialyte
Anyway,
or something.
she's fine now.
She's one of these coffee drinks.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to shit in 5 minutes. Call me Rocket Man.
Matt, I love and hate you all at the same time. Like 2 hours more of drinking to go.
Well, let's do a little bit more news, huh? What do you guys think? Let's do some news that I specifically segmented out. Oh, here we go. Speaking of segmenting out, this is going to be a good one. Anika Nani Rose calls out Disney for whitewashing Princess Tiana.
I'm sorry, what?
Exactly.
I didn't hear about this at the last Black meeting. What happened?
You didn't get the notes from Jesse Jackson?
Exactly.
The trailer from Disney's upcoming Wreck-It Ralph sequel went viral earlier this year, even though I had never heard about it. Most notably when Ralph and Vanellope von Schweetz break into the internet and stumble into a room full of Disney princesses. But many fans of the 2008 hit film Princess and the Frog were quick to note, who are the fans of this movie?
It's okay.
2 people, okay. Note that the animation of the Disney's first black princess was distinctly lighter skinned than the movie. And so here's a photo of it, and I just wanted to ask, well, that's not it.
You're a resident black guy?
Well, yeah,
I think.
honestly, to be honest, no, I turned it off.
Let me speak. Let me speak for us.
Here's the photo. Yeah, the
Hell of
screen
black
black
right there. Oh, it's a
Energy
blank screen.
Star. Oh my God, boot up.
Black and white. Well, something
Boot up. There we go. So that's her from the movie, and then that's her from.
What it looks like is that she's not a two-dimensional character
Yeah, it's
anymore.
between
That's
2D and
all-
3D.
Do you think
all it
she's
looks
whitewashed?
like.
Do you think
Not
she's
at
lighter?
all. No, she looks normal.
She has contrast
Okay, I just want to know.
and contour.
Actress Anika Nani Rose, who originally voiced Princess Tiana, at first remained quiet on the controversy, but yesterday she broke her silence. Like everyone's been waiting for bated breath.
standing outside of her house.
What'd she say? Like, I don't know.
She said, I've been very quiet on the subject because it was important for me to do my due diligence before publicly addressing something as near and dear to my heart and face. Rose pointed out the lighter skin and much sharper features on the princess in new images, saying she was as surprised as most of my fans were. She set up a meeting with the studio to discuss the importance of Tiana's dark skin and representation. 3 weeks ago, she said, I had a meeting in person with Wreck-It Ralph team, my original animator, Mark Hine. Imagine you have your own animator. Oh, this is my original animator. They explained how CGI animation did different things to the characters' color tones in different light compared to hand-drawn original characters, and I was able to express how important it is to the little girls, and let's face it, grown women, who felt represented by her, that her skin tone stay as rich as it had been, and that her nose continued to be the little round nose that Mark so beautifully rendered in the movie, the same nose on my very own face. And so on many other little brown faces around the world that we so rarely get to see represented in fantasy. Yes, Beverly.
I want to say
Thank
this
you.
without being offensive.
Oh.
Because I'm
Should
not
I
black.
leave the room?
No.
You said because you're black?
Because I'm not black.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, I've said enough about plantations. Calm down. I'm not.
I'm not going to your hotel, by the way.
I think it was plantains. I think you
This is the worst immersive experience ever. Why
Tastes
am,
like a
why
banana.
am I picking cotton? This is the worst immersive experience ever.
Why does everyone keep handing me the
Okay.
keys to their car? I don't
For
get
the
it.
record,
Stop hitting me with that whip. What's
plantation
going on?
is a style of house. You turd.
Where did it come from?
The South.
There you go.
And I'm
Exactly.
whatever.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
It's
Go
like-
ahead. Go ahead.
I'm
Reparations.
just saying,
Go
looking
on.
at that picture,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna think she's white.
Well, right.
So what is the point of this whole
Well,
thing?
so I mean, just in her quote, it sounds like that and again, I don't understand the black experience at all. I really don't,
No,
because it's not for
not
me to
at all.
understand. And I don't pretend to.
Rap.
Yeah, but Eminem was one of his rappers. It doesn't
True.
count.
It's
Jerry,
true.
Come on.
True.
But it's Is it important for you to see black representation in movies and
So
stuff?
quite honestly,
do you key on it and go, yes, like that makes me
so
connect?
No, so
more.
I realized from my upbringing that like I didn't see The Wizard of Oz until I was an adult. I didn't see stuff like that because I watched The Wiz, just because that's what my parents watch. But it didn't matter to me. So when Princess and the Frog came out, I wasn't like, okay, Disney gets us. Like I wasn't like that. And so when I see that picture, what I see is two things. And Greg's right. I see them going from 2D to 3D.
Mm-hmm.
I see just the shadowing and light from what they're doing with the CGI rendering. I see that as well. It doesn't look like she's being whitewashed. It looks like a black person in light. That's all it looks like to me. So I think this is a little extreme for her to go this route.
I agree. She goes on to say, it was important for me to hear what Disney had to say and to have an open dialogue about legacy and representation. They did not have to make time to give me a presentation on the process, but I'm very glad that they did. When she's right, I mean, that's really cool. I also appreciate that this far into the process, Disney had enough care and respect for all who love Princess Tiana and her legacy to spend the time and money to make the adjustments necessary. Thank you for continuing to love and support Princess Tiana. I'm sure you know that she loves you right back. I mean, I think that's really cool because she's 100% correct. They did not have to do that at all. But like, here's a better photo. Like, to me, it looks exactly the same.
When I was following this story when it first came out, well, I noticed a lot of it went around her nose. So they say that Tiana's nose in the cartoon was really wide, and it's really narrow in the 3D model version. Yeah. And people say that it's white beauty versus black beauty, and I don't know enough about that, but that's the story that I keep hearing, and I if that's true, I get that. But her skin color's the same.
It is. It's literally the same.
I'm honestly more offended she's drinking a fucking Starbucks
Why don't we
Frappuccino.
talk about her eyes or something, you know?
Or her hair. Her hair actually looks less black in the Wreck-It Ralph one than it does in the movie. Why don't we talk about that as well?
Well, thank you, Terrence, for confirming my, I don't know, whatever.
That's my one.
Here's another good one. This is... Jeremy, maybe you can have a good time with this. You can now get low-calorie, boozy push pops at Walt Disney World.
Oh, are they keto for me to
Keto friendly, I know.
Keto booze pop?
I'm sure every single drink that I'm having right now is keto friendly as well. God.
Disney,
Tell me more and let's hear it.
Disney Springs announced on Wednesday that they'll be serving boozy push pops at Paddlefish Restaurant, which is a great name.
No.
Fantastic name. The fat-free, adult-only treat. First of all, fat-free.
Fat-free doesn't matter. It's not 1988 anymore. We know that fat-free is not the same thing.
It's under 100 calories, and that comes in 8 different flavors, including mango passion fruit, Moscow Mule, and blueberry pomegranate.
So does the Moscow Mule one has like copper flavor in there as well? You're supposed to have that cup.
It costs
No, the push pop cover comes like copper.
yes.
Like,
Very expensive.
Nice. No.
so expensive. Yeah, you got
They
to
cost-
pay $40.
They cost $12 to $14 and are equivalent to one cocktail with 15% ABV. Whoa! That's a lot. I'm sorry, that's a lot.
Wait, 15 ABV in one push pop?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's
a
not
lot.
bad.
Down there.
I mean, that's more than a normal glass of wine. By me by like 1%.
deal.
Greg's stoked about it, or Kyle's stoked about it.
That's Kyle. I'm Greg.
That's Kyle.
You guys look exactly the same.
Yeah,
It's fine.
totally.
The CEO
I
for
look
Buzz
so
Pop
Jewish.
Cocktails, Joseph Isaacs, tell people the brand will also expand to include 2 more flavors launching this winter: White Russian and Grasshopper Sorbet.
White.
Ooh.
That's not bad.
Here's the thing. I don't care.
Here's the thing: never cared.
It's Disney Springs. Like, whatever. They got a lot of shit down there. I don't care.
So I know this is backing up, I'm sure, but I just tried this drink.
Which one, Terry?
The one with
The-
the coffee.
The one with the
The
coffee.
coffee rum?
I
Here,
don't
pass it over here.
understand what's going on.
If you don't like it, I'll take it.
I'm not saying that.
Okay,
What don't you understand?
sorry.
It's coffee brandy.
It's weird. It's like
you
no,
like
I mean,
it?
I don't understand what's
It's
happening in my
fantastic.
mouth.
Oh,
Like it's
I
a
had a
it's a
nickel
tiki
for-
drink, but it's coffee.
yeah.
It's fantastic.
Is it? You
I like
you
it a
like
lot.
it that much?
Yeah, I
I
Like,
really- I
would
like
you
it
order
too.
this again?
Yes, I would.
Would you?
Absolutely.
I want one of these tomorrow for breakfast.
Well,
It's true.
That could happen.
Ma-
But
Mazel.
honestly, if I had it with eggs and bacon, I might like it more.
Kyle didn't even taste it.
No, Kyle
He
just
put it down
pounded
and
it. Yeah.
Pounded.
Well, you guys should come over. We'll make it for tomorrow morning for breakfast.
Perfect.
Meanwhile, Jeremy will be 2 hours already on a plane because he's stupid.
Don't even talk
Jeremy's totally gonna miss his plane.
Wait, are you leaving
We
tonight?
got to get him just
No, he's leaving
completely
tomorrow
trashed.
morning. His
8
flight
8
leaves
a.m.
at 8:30.
Leaves at 8.
So he's
Our
basically
leaves
kind
at
of-
6:30 on what, Monday morning?
Oh, that's stupid too.
Wow.
Halloween
tomorrow.
fun coming to Alani, a Disney resort and spa. They're getting ready for Halloween in Hawaii with pumpkins and palm trees as the happy haunts of the season are making their way to the resort this October. And I thought that was pretty cool because I would do this, Taryn. We should go to Alani in a
Okay.
couple years for Halloween.
Petros, have you ever
Done.
been to Alani?
I had a drink in the bar at Alani and walked around and pretended I belonged. Mazel.
Mazel.
Some of these offerings include the Halloween Aloha style dance party where both kids and adults can dress up and head to the Hawaii lawn for craft games, face painting, and dancing with Disney friends. If movies are more their style, guests can enjoy a family-friendly Halloween film under the stars on the Hawaii lawn with Ohana Disney Halloween movie nights. You can have pumpkin decorating.
Hey, we have a special event for a special thing. What do we do? Let's do face painting, and we'll have characters, and we'll show a movie, and there'll be an arts and crafts table.
Done.
Got it. Good. Done.
You're hired.
Event A1, I think that's what it is.
What is that? Event A1?
Yeah, it's just a file you pull. Event A1
Oh,
weekend
I
something.
got it.
A1. Got it.
Got it.
Done.
All
You
right.
need something special. It's B6.
Fair enough.
Terrence, do you want this?
Hey, Petros,
Keto.
I think we
Yes.
should plan an Ears Up live show from Alani in a couple of years.
For the 200th show.
Talk
Except
to me.
let's not stay at Alani because it's going to be too expensive. Let's stay at the hotel next door.
Oh, yeah, at the Sheridan.
No, it's the Marriott.
On
It's
the
beautiful.
Marriott. The Sheridan.
Can we do that for the 200th episode?
I mean, Best
For
Western.
Yeah.
Hawaii?
And then just walk over.
That's going to be in
That's
2
true.
years?
Yeah, we could do that
No,
too.
no, for
About 2
Ears
years
Up
Just
6.
rent it.
No, year and a half.
And we're at what,
121.
121? Oh, a year and a half, yeah.
Yeah, but that's okay because Alice will be able to fly a little bit more
No, we're going to do it for Ears Up 6. 6th anniversary.
this
In a
time next year.
Yep.
Are you paying?
No.
That's the
I
plan.
think we need.
Okay, you heard him, Jeremy. That's the plan. Is Jeremy's
Great.
buying us all trips to Hawaii?
Done.
Yeah, does that include Kyle and Greg or what?
Everyone's invited.
Hell yeah.
I love
You
you,
get a car.
Jeremy.
You get a car.
Thanks, Oprah.
You
Yeah.
get a, and you get a trip, and you get a trip.
Oprah over here. Let's see. Let's go back down. A Disney Cruise Line is set to sail from New Orleans. That's cool. Beginning in
Oh, that's
2020.
Ooh, that sounds right up our alley.
And they're also returning to Hawaii. So you can you can
Nice.
Disney cruise to Hawaii.
I'm down
Okay.
with
Right
that.
after we record our 6th anniversary show.
That is our anniversary show for like 7.
Well, your parents
Jeremy.
are aren't your
How about 10?
isn't your mom buying us
God,
Disney
yeah.
trips?
My mom put my dad's death money away. Like it's like a couple $100,000 and put away in the bank. She was like, "Yeah, it's a price a Disney cruise. I'll send you and your family and your sister and her family on a cruise."
And your co-hosts and their families.
Yeah, that's
Look,
exactly
I
what they
asked-
didn't
I
say.
know Audrey, and I was like, "Hey, does she want to adopt a relatively nice white orphan?"
Who, Sam?
Sam is
You
not
are an orphan at this part. I forgot. Oh,
I
okay,
am.
yeah, I'll ask her.
Could you just imagine Ears Up 6 live from the poop deck?
Oh my god!
Many times I've imagined it. Yes. Yeah. And it
definitely
all
down.
ends weird.
But your poop deck and his poop deck are different things.
Sure. Mine has more dancing.
I'm definitely down. That'd be awesome to do the show from that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Set it up. You're the
Imagine how
dude.
my mom.
drunk we would be.
Yeah.
Like all the drunk.
All the drunk.
The entire time.
Yes.
Yes.
No break.
Okay, here's a good article this is the article I was alluding to on the other show about Disney spending a lot of money. Disney and the Seminole tribe added $10 million to a campaign to limit casinos in Florida. Disney and the Seminole tribe of Florida keep pouring money into a campaign to limit future casino gambling. Newly filed campaign reports show that Disney, Worldwide Services, and the tribe each donated $5 million to an organization called Voters in Charge this month. They're running ads to convince people to vote yes on Amendment 3 that says only voters can approve new casinos in the future. State legislators have considered casino gambling proposals in recent years. Disney has opposed efforts to expand gambling in the state. The Seminole Indians already operate several casinos in the state. Disney has spent $19.7 million to pass the amendment, while the Seminoles have spent nearly $16.8.
Really?
Why?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out as well.
Why?
They should spend that money on like keeping Florida Man in check, though, right?
To what?
Florida Man?
What's Florida Man?
You've never
Florida
heard of
Man?
Florida Man?
No. What's Florida
Do you
Man?
mean like
Florida Man
Florida?
takes Gator
No.
into grocery store.
Florida Man rides a gator into a hurricane.
Yeah, Florida Man is seen.
What are you talking about?
Have you? Okay, just Google Florida Man right now and see the news articles that pop up.
It's
It's
amazing.
always like Florida
Oh,
Man.
I get it.
Yeah,
It's a joke.
Florida Man.
There we
Quintessential
go.
Florida Man.
Got
It
it.
was I thought it was Flow Rider. But
Flow Rider. Keep Flow Rider in check.
Keep Flo Rida in check.
Yeah, homies in check.
That
I
dude's
thought it was
good.
But
a
like,
man.
but like all of this, like raising the prices of everything, not paying people a
We
living
just
wage.
offended all your Florida listeners.
They
and I
sp-
apologize.
yeah, they spent $20 million
guys.
to limit the amount of Indian casinos in Florida.
Does Disney have a foothold at all in the casino business going on in Florida? Because there's no casinos on the cruise ships, right?
I don't know, but we've been doing this an hour, and I've used half my news, so we need to slow down. a little bit.
Honestly, probably because it's not necessary. It's international waters.
I know it's
so-
international waters, but it's a Disney cruise. I don't know if they have a casino
No, I think
on there.
I think you can. I don't.
I think a card table and like some slot, like not
Yeah, I think they do.
Just like a small, like, whatever.
Just like like
I'm gonna look it up.
I mean, because to be perfectly honest, a lot of people go on
it's a-
cruises so they can gamble.
It's
like,
a
I'd be
cruise ship
pissed.
staple.
Right.
So
No casino.
More drinks. Oh shit, this is mine. Oh god.
There's no casino on Disney cruise ships.
This is the Krakatoa Punch.
There's bingo.
from Trader Sam's.
There's bingo.
Wait, where's the presentation, though?
Turn the lights off, Charlie. Would you mind? There's this.
Wait,
Yep.
let me do the
And then the other one. Yep.
Let's see if it
Can't
works.
light on
Actually,
fire, dude. God.
it's trying. It's trying.
Oh, Brad's trying to light the
There
line,
we go.
and it's not really working.
everyone get out of here! The volcano's going off.
I think it's melting the straw.
All right, I'm willing to give up and call it a failure.
Oh, I was trying to
Me too.
Brad,
Ow, the straw is
do you have
actually
any
really
sugar
hot.
cubes?
Yeah, I do, but
Just soak
It's
one of
over.
those in 151 and put it on there.
it had 151.
Oh,
And then
okay.
Jason just dunked it into his
Okay, well,
glass.
then it's done then.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Wait, I'm sorry. There's
tell us what's in it,
151 in
though.
this drink.
Yeah, grab the yellow. Those are
There
some-
is not supposed to be 151 in this drink. It was just to light it on fire.
Okay.
It's the Krakatoa Punch. It is Gorilla Grog, 2 types of rum, and some orgeat.
May I ask
Or
a
Orgeat.
question?
Do me a
Yes.
favor. Turn the lights on.
How did you
the
make
first
the
switch,
Gorilla
and then the
Grog?
second one. Yep, but not
Or
the third
what-
one. Do not touch the
because
third
I know
one.
that they
Thank
have
you.
not given out this recipe.
Yeah, so the
what did
website
you
I got
do?
it from said they
Fantastic.
reverse engineered it.
Okay.
And it was 1 ounce of orange juice, 1 ounce of passion, 1 ounce of guava, 1 ounce of pineapple,
Ooh, there's a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
half ounce of lemon juice, half ounce of falernum, and half ounce of something else.
Oh, it's good.
Ooh, surprise.
But I don't. I'd have to look.
Something else. It's egg white.
Something else.
It's egg white.
Probably more egg white. He had more eggs
I
left.
put Gorilla
so.
Grog in the drink.
Unstrained egg white.
Then when you make the drink, you put orgeat, rum, and
First of all, the straws are like a zero gauge. It's like drinking out of a fire hose. I mean, these things are huge, dude.
I feel like we need to mix ours.
I feel like you need to talk into the microphone.
Oh yeah.
I used my finger.
You're just mixing the drink.
Hey,
Alice is about to be lit
is there
tonight.
any mango in this drink?
no.
Okay.
He just gave the recipe, Bev.
I know, but
Okay.
I just was making sure.
Okay. God bless.
mango?
She can't have it the mango.
Oh, Taryn. We need a number from Taryn.
Which numbers have been chosen? 6, 7.
2.
7, and 2.
Yeah.
It's easier if you just guess a
2,
number
5, 6,
and then he'll
7.
tell you if it hasn't.
There we go.
All right.
Cheers.
God.
Brad,
Cheers.
you're the man. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Oh God.
Cheers, everybody.
I
Happy 5-year anniversary.
I know,
This is
right?
insane.
5 whole years.
5 entire years.
I'm not going to be able to finish this by the time you all finish yours. I'm not going to be able to do it. Maybe Kyle will help me out.
Jason's got a big one.
I do have a big one.
You had a nickel for every time you heard that.
Thank you. I have one
You'd have a
nickel.
I knew I was lobbing
one
that
time.
right to him.
Do any of the Disney cruise lines have casinos?
They don't. They do not.
There's bingo.
What do people do?
Oh, that makes sense.
There are some large payouts on Disney Cruise Line bingo, including a final jackpot on the last day, which, depending on your trip, can go up to $10,000.
Ooh.
So there's bingo.
That paid for your one-day ticket at Disneyland.
I know, right?
One day, one park.
That's true. Okay. Terrence left, so I was going to do, I guess, more
Can I just
news.
say that I hate Illuminations?
Wow, the liquor starts flowing and we get real.
Yeah, he's getting feisty. I hope Jessica's
Let's
listening.
do this.
Why is that?
I like this.
Because it's an outdated 80s show that's been around for way too long.
Damn.
Every time.
Damn with a B. Damn.
Yeah, you wouldn't want an outdated show like Remember Dreams Come True, which has been around since 2005. Boom!
Terrence, you missed it. Kyle, we're about to start
Also-
we're about to start the news, and Kyle just drops the. You know, I hate
I
Illumination.
also don't like Remember Dreams Come True coming back.
Also, what do you like?
But I just want to say that, like, 2005
Literally
and
nothing.
1980 is a pretty big gap there.
The current version of Illuminations
amazing.
debuted in 1999.
That a boy.
Anything else?
Boy.
Anything else?
3 months before
Jeremy.
the year 2000. Go.
Jeremy, you should take the microphone out and then drop it.
Ho!
No.
It was a joke.
Go ahead.
Drop the equipment.
But it still uses the same audio for the most part.
Where's Nick Cannon
No,
when we need
because
him?
the
Because these people
original-
while it
The
out.
original Illuminations was
Jeez,
recorded by the
dude.
Toronto Symphony Orchestra. I don't think so.
My favorite part is that they have to share a mic.
You can hear the mic being drugged back and forth.
It's kind of my favorite part, too.
This is
Go,
like a
you.
rap battle.
Amazing.
I don't really have anything else.
Have you seen it? Have you seen Illuminations Reflections of Earth? No, you haven't.
I see it. I'll be honest.
I
I
thought
don't
Jeremy
like,
used the full
I don't
name,
like
by the way.
any
God, we're
of
only
Disney
5
World
drinks in.
shows.
4 drinks in.
I don't really like any of Disney World shows. I like this. I like the Star Wars Galactic Nights before they changed it when they let off all those fireworks. But Illuminations is kind of old and outdated. Phantasmic has a lot of issues going on. Let's just be honest. Compared to Disneyland's original version, not talking about its 2.0, but the
Oh my
original.
God. We should probably leave the room and
Phantasmic
just let
has a
this
lot of
happen.
issues going on. And while the
What, like a lot of amazing seating, so like you don't have to sit around on on this path and wonder, oh, maybe I might be able to see part of Illumination or part of Phantasmic. Oh no, we have seats. Is that what you hate about it? Go.
I mean, I just think that like the 20 villains that come out in a row, and you know, Pocahontas is a pretty good comparison to a real pirate ship with Peter Pan and Captain Hook dancing
Matt.
around on the line.
Here, give him
No.
some of mine.
No.
I'm not going to drink all that.
Pocahontas is not in place of that. Pocahontas is in place of
No, I mean like
the
pour him like his own
electronic,
glass
the
again. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dumbo.
But just pour out of
What
that.
is that? All that like
Thank you.
psychedelic Dumbo shit. Whatever. I don't care. I don't know.
What are we talking about anymore?
So then, what's
I
in?
don't
Yeah,
know.
wait, no, we went from Illuminations to
going in so many
Phantasmic,
different
92
directions.
versus 2.0. That's a totally different
Pocahontas
conversation.
is great. Everyone shut up. Okay?
Can we paint with all the colors of the wind?
Yes, exactly.
Yes, we can.
It's gorgeous.
Yes, we can paint with all the colors of the wind.
So I don't know why he is suddenly attacking me on my wonderful shows. Illuminations is the best show Disney has ever produced, ever.
Well, it's funny
Like,
you
I'm
mentioned.
not here to defend Phantasmic.
World of Color.
okay?
It's
Can I
funny
tell
you
you?
mention.
Yeah. Where's World of Color? Go see World of Color tonight. You can't. It's on the Fritz because it broke.
After 18 years,
Yeah, it ate itself.
Illuminations, Reflections of Earth will be no more.
Jeremy's gonna cry. Don't
The
hurt.
stirring.
I swear to God.
A round of applause.
I
Kyle's
don't
gonna
know.
throw a
I don't know.
party.
I don't know
Wait,
what
wait,
I'm gonna do. I'm
you guys
really upset
realize
about it.
that one of Kyle's closest friends, that's her favorite show, right? So he's just throwing her under
Who
the
are you talking
bus.
about? You talking about
Jessica
Kate?
Stricker.
Oh well, I don't care. Jessica knows I don't like Illuminations. It's fine.
The stirring retelling of Earth's origins from creation to community has long been a crowd favorite, performed nightly in the center of Epcot's 11 country pavilions. Illuminations is his final show won't be until the end of next summer, Jeremy. But luckily, its replacement will be right behind it. According to Disney Parks blog, the subsequent show will debut immediately after Illuminations' final bow, giving guests yet another reason to visit the parks. Blah, blah, blah. No one's certain what the new nighttime extravaganza will entail, but it will feature familiar characters more often seen at parks like Disney's Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom.
The Country Bears. Sounds great.
It's all country bears
Don't look
all
at
the
me.
time.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want any characters. I want a good story. You know what? That was the beauty of Illuminations. People view Illuminations as the most popular nighttime spectacular in Disney World, and there's a reason. Because it's different from all the other ones.
I happen to agree, and I remember saying when we came back on our first show, when we came back from Disney World, that was the best nighttime spectacular that I had seen. It's better than Disneyland.
Remember you saying that,
yeah, it's better than World of Color.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Remember
better.
you
than
saying that.
Have you guys seen the water parade in Magic Kingdom's Lagoon?
I've never been
Yes.
to Disney.
Yeah.
World,
Seven
so
Seas
no, I'm
Lagoon?
not.
That is the best nighttime water show.
Go away. I'm gonna, that's the end. No. Okay, fine. No.
This is like the Battle Royale. Like
This is
it's so
amazing.
great.
Like, why are the rest of us in this room right now?
Alanis Morissette.
You know I wasn't serious. I was just trolling you there.
like, are you kidding me with that?
Get it.
Who is this dude?
We still have more stories about Greg.
We do. And we also have... Terrence, let's do your segment real fast.
Oh, okay.
On deaths. For some reason, you decided to go real...
I don't
Let's
know.
lighten
I
it
decided-
up a little
more
bit.
of
I decided to go this direction because there's a lot of stuff that happens at Disneyland that's not really broadcasted, and I thought it was great for the Secret Show. So I know. Are you getting that weird bouncing stereo thing right now? Okay, perfect. So I wanted to talk about some of the deaths and incidents that have happened at the Disneyland Resort, and this segment is
Hold on a
called.
second. You got to hold on. I have to say goodnight to my child. Hi, sweet baby. Hi. See all your friends?
Oh, isn't that adorable?
She's so cute. She's like a little Terran.
Oh, that's
Look
right.
at that hair,
You
dude.
want to sip a dad's drink?
No,
Mama's good. Nice.
Look at those eyes.
Not
I
until you're
can't even
two.
get
She's gonna
over
be
it
lit.
for 5 seconds. She's like, come on.
Oh,
No, I switched it. She's here.
okay, great. Hi. What do you
Look how
think?
happy she
You wanna be
is.
broadcaster?
Man, I really hope I can.
She's like, Illuminations is the best. What else do you want to know?
What is that doing?
There's also a possibility I won't be able to read this because
Jeremy will read it for you.
drink.
Do you want to borrow my reading glasses?
No, oh, God, no. I'm good. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna jump in.
Yeah, you do that.
So this segment is called "Fools Be Dying" because a lot of people have died at Disneyland and it's not really broadcasted. So first, we're going to start in 1964.
Some light.
May 15th, 1964, Mark Maples, a 15-year-old Long Beach kid, stood up on the Matterhorn bobsleds, and he fell out of the vehicle. So the person he was riding with actually undid his seatbelt. He fell out. He died 3 days later as a result of the injuries. This was the first...
Result of the industry.
Yeah, this is the first Disneyland fatality. This was 9 years after it opened.
He didn't die in Disneyland.
So that's the thing that Disneyland will do. They will not normally they are not declared deceased inside of Disneyland, so they say that the person did not die there, so they don't have to broadcast it. But normally they are dead before they're taken out.
I mean, they're not lying.
All right. They're not lying, but they just don't have the person
bending the
pronounced.
truth.
So when
Right.
someone's decapitated, they're like, "Oh, take them out in the ambulance and declare them deceased in the ambulance on the way out."
Ambulance?
And so they're the ambulance. My black comes out from time to time.
My ambulance.
All right, grad night, 66. Thomas Guy Cleveland. He was a 19-year-old kid. He was trying to sneak into the park, and he climbed onto the monorail tracks from outside the park. The security guard started yelling at him and screaming at him and telling him to climb down, but he didn't listen. Seconds after he heard the security guard say, "Please climb down," he looked over. He was struck by an oncoming monorail, and he was drugged 30 to 40 feet down the track before the monorail came to a complete stop. After the incident, the security guard was questioned, and he's quoted as saying, "I had to hose the kid off the underside of the tracks."
Wait, did he die?
Yeah, possibly.
Making
yeah.
sure.
Oh my god.
Greg's just being hopeful.
Yeah, right.
But he didn't
Ever the
die
optimist.
in Disneyland.
No,
He died on
no,
Harbor
he was.
Boulevard.
They took all of the parts of him and put him in the back of the,
They
the
hosed him off and
ambulance.
then like squeegeed him together and threw him
The
somewhere.
ambulance.
He died in Anaheim sewage system.
Exactly. This is why I wanted to do this on the Secret Show. I
Jiminy
love this.
Christmas.
67, Ricky Lee Yama, 16-year-old kid. He was riding the People Mover, and he decided to jump between two cars. He stumbled, he fell on the track, and an oncoming train hit him and crushed his body and drug him for a few hundred feet before the ride operator stopped the attraction. At that point, the People Mover was only open for about a month before it killed its first person, and it will kill more.
And then they modified it with cages.
You're absolutely right. Exactly. 73, Bogdan Delarue. He was 18 years old, and his 10-year-old brother. They're from New York. They decided they wanted to stay on Tom Sawyer's Island past closing, so they hid in an area that was off limits to guests. So when they were sick of just hanging out on the island in the middle of the night, they decided to swim across the rivers of America. So the rivers of America it depends on where you look. They say it's about 6.5 feet deep in the deepest parts, and it's about 4 feet deep near the banks. Well, the problem is the 10-year-old brother did not know how to swim. So the older brother put him.
Excellent decision.
Don't you think that's something you should verify before you decide
stay on an island,
or
right?
at least to say, "Hey, I don't know how to swim. Let's
Also-
not do it."
Exactly.
Your 10-year-old brother. Where are his parents?
They don't say where they are. I don't know what's going on. I'm
Let's
just saying this is
interview
what
them.
happened.
Because if my 10-year-old didn't
Well,
come
can't
home, I'd be
interview
like,
one of them.
hey, we were at Disneyland.
I know. It's kind of weird. It is kind of weird. So the older brother attempted to carry his brother on his back across the rivers of America. Halfway across, he drowned. His body was found the next morning. The 10-year-old boy was able to stay afloat by doggy paddling until a ride operator came and rescued him. Total Titanic moment. There's a few things they could have found that could have floated them across, but
yeah, and
apparently not.
The shore is so far.
Also, yeah, it's not like they're not swimming the English Channel.
I know,
It's
dude.
like less than 25
Right.
meter lap.
It's not bad. It's not that far at all.
So wait, the 10-year-old survived.
Survived by a doggy paddle. The 10-year-old who couldn't swim survived,
The brother who
but the 18-year-old did not. Yes.
Oh, he drunk.
Yeah. Well, we'll get some more of that in a minute. So June 28th, 1974, America Sings debuts in a building. Yeah, you guys know this one. Debuts in a building in. Hold on for a second.
Love it.
I'll finish Terrence because she's putting the kids to bed.
I haven't finished my drink, and I don't know if I want to.
No,
it's
just
very
finish
sweet.
it.
I don't know if I want to do that.
So America Sings debuts. So in the opposite way of the ride was there before, the rotation was reversed. So the only glitch. Sorry, God, man,
Gitch.
I'm telling you, these strings are not bad. The only glitch that, from the previous ride, Carousel of Progress, is that the theaters moved around the nucleus in a clockwise direction. This meant that the walls on the left-hand side of the stage moved away from each other. But in America Sings, the rotation was reversed, which meant the walls moved towards each other on the left-hand side of the stage and closed in place to separate each theater from each other. So, on July 8th, 1974, Debbie Stone had an evening shift at America Sings. Before her shift, she called her parents and exclaimed to them that she was in love, wanted their permission to get engaged, and obviously her parents were happy for her. A little later, around 10:30 p.m., when the last show got over and the stages were shifting position in between the 45-second interval, a guest from the adjacent theater heard a blood-chilling scream.
Blood chilling.
When he and the
My
operators...
blood was chilled.
Yes, very cold blood. When he and the operators rushed to the scene, they were horrified to see Debbie Stone crushed between the walls of two theaters. Now, to this day, no one knows exactly what went wrong. There have been numerous theories. Some state that Debbie may have been inclining towards the adjacent stage to talk to a fellow cast member, or she may have attempted to jump from one stage to another, or she may have been distracted and stepped backwards without noticing. Whatever the reason, The fact remains that Debbie was crushed alive as the rotating walls closed against the stationary one. After the gruesome incident, Disney closed the ride for 2 days, and the stage on which Debbie died remained closed for a year. Later, the stages were installed with sensory lights to warn the operator if someone went too close to the walls, and additional changes were made by fixing breakaway walls in case the sensors failed. And the ride remained operative until 1988. 1988.
I like
Then it was shut
operative.
down.
That was good.
Yeah, shut up. Then they were shut down, and the building remained obsolete until it was refurbished in 1998 for Innoventions.
So
Why are we doing this?
Because
I'm super depressed right now.
it's fine. It gets better.
I'm kind of
So
fascinated
to
and really sad.
To point
I mean,
out,
it
they
is
had a fault,
fascinating.
right?
Yeah.
And they identified the fault, and then they installed three systems,
Redundant systems,
three
yeah.
redundant systems
Yeah.
that were all supposed to be in place because they knew that one wasn't enough.
Exactly. I know. It's crazy. I'm glad they do that, but I wish they could figure that out before someone dies.
Yeah. Also, Debbie was an asshole. So like, let's just remember that.
I'm sorry. She kinda did it.
Jeremy.
August 14th.
Wait, hang on a
I'm
second.
sorry.
Brad's here. What do we,
She was where
girl.
she shouldn't
What
have
are we
been.
what do we got?
This is called a Colorado Bulldog.
No.
Hell yeah.
Are you looking for Taryn specifically?
Yeah, right. Because she's the one that said, "Oh, and milk drinks, whatever."
Oh.
This is a milk drink.
Milk
and it's
drink,
perfect
okay.
for
Oh, that's
Druid, and
great.
it's perfect
She's
for
putting her baby to sleep.
But maybe the baby will go to sleep. Maybe she'll be back.
Yeah, she'll be
So
down in
we'll
a
see.
second. No, the baby's super
What's
easy
in
to go to
this
sleep.
drink?
Yeah, sit down
This
and
is
get right in the microphone.
This is a
please.
low alcohol drink. Perfect timing, I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
Kahlua
true.
milk and Coke.
Kahlua milk and
Ooh.
Coke.
That'll work.
Okie dokie, let's go.
Some recipes actually have vodka in it also, but I kind of just went with the one that I had.
Yeah.
The vodka.
I'm good
Smart.
with that.
I appreciate that at this point. Thank you.
I'm all right with that.
All right, we're going to keep going. August 14th, 1979. Cheryl Ann Hoffman boarded Space Mountain after ignoring signs
Wait,
warning...
hold on. We gotta tell
Ooh,
everybody there's
sorry,
there's no
sorry.
Coke in it yet, so don't drink it.
Sorry, don't drink it.
This is cool.
Pouring the Coke from the bottle.
It foams though. It's like an egg cream, kind of.
Terrence again. There you go.
Supposed to make sure that I strain the egg before I put it in the drink.
Guys, I just
It's like
Oh, Mazel.
I just want to point out that
Mazel.
I am not sober.
Are you the only one? Because I'm trying to read, and I'm like, why are the words moving?
Close one eye to see everybody.
That much.
You realize so we've been doing this for under an hour and a half.
Oh dear
That's fine. It's going to be even better.
Well, I don't want to run out of shit to talk about or like.
It'll be fine.
We
know.
can. We
I
got.
can just
Believe
start
me.
stating random facts.
And everybody has a laughing place.
Random facts.
And let's
Get out of my house,
I
Greg.
don't know what that means, but you know.
let's be honest.
Lesbian?
He got some stories.
No, I know. We're waiting for
We
it.
have stories.
We're
Tell
waiting
you
for
about
it.
that
All right,
one story
That-
and the
This
other one.
is
Yeah.
good.
I've only heard the one. I haven't heard the other one.
Let's drink this drink.
It's so good.
Still, cheers. Love you.
Cheers. This is good?
Fantastic.
No.
Yes.
No.
It's
The
really good.
milk and the Coke do not go well together.
No, it's very good.
Best
No.
one so far.
Stop.
I want nothing else ever again.
This is not good.
All right, you guys ready?
Brad, this sucks.
Oh, I like it.
August
Brad.
14th. August 14th, 1979. Cheryl Ann Hoffman boarded Space Mountain after ignoring the signs warning guests with any medical conditions to bypass the ride. During the ride, she got sick, and when her rocket vehicle reached the unloading area, she was unable to get out of the vehicle. Employees told her to stay in the rocket and that her rocket would be removed from the track. Unfortunately, other ride attendants didn't understand these instructions and sent Hoffman's vehicle on another 3-minute go-around through Space Mountain. By the end of the second trip, she was almost unconscious. She was carried to a bench and then transported in a wheelchair to first aid. Her husband was told not to worry, that she had only fainted. When her condition did not improve, he insisted that she be taken to a hospital. She was taken to the hospital, where she remained in a coma for a week, and then she died.
Not on Disney property.
Exactly. It was later revealed that she had a tumor in her heart. It was possible that the ride dislodged it, and it entered her brain and killed her. Her husband tried to sue the park, convinced that the second Space Mountain trip broke the tumor free, and that the park declined to properly and quickly care for her. The case was eventually dismissed. So basically, this chick had a tumor in her heart. She was sent through Space Mountain almost unconscious and died because of it.
Okay. There was a mistake. They shouldn't have sent her through a second time. But It was a pre-existing condition, not Disney's fault.
Well, and they can't prove
And
that the
also-
ride even
No,
dislodged
I know,
it.
but
Yeah.
at some point,
In a related story, this tastes like a root beer float gone so wrong.
It tastes
God's
like
so right. I
like when
love
you're
that.
in middle
I like
school
it
and like you
too.
find it, but you like want to play bartender and because your parents are out of town or whatever. You're like, I'm gonna mix this.
and this
It-
and this, and then I'm gonna pee in it.
Brad, this sucks.
I never would have
Stop.
mixed something
Stop.
this good.
It sucks. It's
So
terrible.
good.
Stop.
It's a terrible drink.
Stop saying that.
You know what?
You're being
Where's
mean.
Brad?
Wait, what year was that though?
I can definitely
Space Mountain
stand
story.
to sit one
It
out,
was,
so if y'all wanna
79.
share that?
So that was before they even put warnings of pre-existing
Yes,
conditions.
absolutely. See, June 7th, 1980.
Bev's walking out. She's so offended by the flavors in this drink.
Gerardo.
Wait, hang on a
Gonzalez?
second. Taryn's back.
Yes.
That's
Try
your drink,
That's your
Taryn.
drink.
Why does it really look like that? What the hell?
No, it's
Half of us like it. Half
it's
of us don't.
it's milk,
Really good.
Coca-Cola, and Kahlua. So you were talking about a milk drink. No, go ahead and get on the microphone and drink it, and we'll.
Tell me, a lollipop girl loves this.
What do you think, Taryn?
That's a big ass straw, by the way.
Yeah.
I love it.
See?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
love
no,
it?
I think
You
it's
love
good.
it.
I don't
Very good.
I don't love it, but I think it's really good.
You do.
Very good.
I mean, it's Coca-Cola, so it reminds me of a Coca-Cola Slurpee, which I love.
It tastes like a frosty
Yeah.
milkshake,
Oh yeah,
or like a frosty float. Tastes good.
I like it.
Oh, God bless.
All right.
Mazel.
All right.
Mazel.
1980, Gerardo Gonzalez, 18-year-old from from San Diego, was among 18,000 high school seniors at grad night. At 1:30 a.m., Gonzalez boarded his people mover train, decided to get into a different train, but lost his footing, was struck by an oncoming train, and drug until the ride was. It's telling you, people move. It was the people killer. Like, this ride was insane, right?
It moved people to the grave.
Yeah, it moves dumb people to the grave. Okay.
People mover does
All right.
nothing wrong.
I'm going to speed up because we are.
That's
running
true. The people
behind.
mover does nothing wrong. No, we're not running behind.
Okay.
We're fine.
83, June 4th, 83,
Dragging
Philip Strawman, 18-year-old from Albuquerque, New Mexico. He drowned in the rivers of America with one of it. Well, he drowned there. Him and his friend celebrating their graduations and Strawman's 18th birthday had been drinking quite heavily that evening. They sneaked into a cast members only area along the river and untied an inflatable rubber maintenance motorboat, deciding to take it for a joyride around the river. Unable to adequately control the boat, they struck a rock near Tom Sawyer Island and Strawman was thrown into the water. His friend traveled back to shore to seek help, but Strawman drowned long before his body was finally located an hour later. The victim's mother sued Disneyland for negligence and even allowing her inebriated underage son onto the premises, as well as a travel agency that arrived the trip for not properly supervising the teenagers.
Brad, get on the microphone for a second.
He hates this drink, by the way. He's going to rip you apart.
Did you, first of all, spoiler alert. Let's just relax, everybody. Second of all, did you taste this before you brought it in here?
I have had all of the drinks I'm serving you before.
And you enjoy them all?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, to be fair to Brad,
Rude.
When you hate the ones later, you'll know I like those too. So
You won't be able to taste the ones later.
Just curious.
to be fair, I did tell Brad to like, I literally just forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, to like make some weird drinks that are probably going to be gross.
I mean, I don't.
I
think
did
it's-
say that.
I
so-
don't think it's gross. I would not. I mean, if I ordered it, I would drink it, but I would not order another one.
Yeah, but that's you with like everything because you don't want to put anybody out. So like if there was a turd floating in it, you'd be like, I'm just not going to drink it.
I'm
But
just gonna scoop this out and send it and be like, can I have a?
yeah.
I would totally order another one.
to be fair,
Can I have a white wine spritzer?
it's a drink. It's not for everybody.
I like
Some
it.
people like it.
It's
I don't
not
think
for
it's
everybody.
a bad drink. It's just not for everybody.
It's okay.
It's just the overall, what is it? The flavor of, milk. I think it's just,
Yeah, it tastes like an egg cream soda. I mean,
yeah.
I liked it.
Kyle just has been hosing them down.
It
It
tastes-
tastes like a Wendy's Frosty float,
No,
and it's fantastic.
It tastes,
Exactly.
It tastes like a float made with flat soda. Like it has a flat taste to me.
maybe that's
Yeah,
the
that's-
Mexican Coke instead.
Well, the,
drank enough yet.
Yeah, I've had enough, honey.
Brad,
Wow,
So
we got
rules
the
of game are, to
honey.
be fair,
honey.
the rules of the game are unless
That was
it's your
an
number,
endearing,
you
honey.
can
I
dump
just
it.
want you to know.
Brad, every drink you have made so far, I have loved and would order again. So I want you to just know that. Okay?
How many points did you just get?
Like a lot. So
I think
get
you're doing
me
great.
a drink
I think you're doing
with
great.
a lot of
And actually,
whiskey in
it's time for the next round as well because I'm ready. It's only 6 o'clock. Oh, 6:45.
True story.
6:46.
As I hit myself in the nostril with my straw.
Well, Tiana, I mean,
Oh, racist.
So
And I'm the racist one for talking about plantation houses.
I just said Tiana.
Yes,
That's
you
all I said.
are.
So do we want to choose a number, or are we taking a slow break, or
Greg says 4.
Greg says 4.
All right.
I feel like it's unfortunate because I don't even feel the slightest bit tipsy because I've been out of this room more than I've been in it.
You have to breastfeed. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, but I don't anymore tonight.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We'll see.
Pump and dump. Hello.
Job is out. All
Greg
right.
just pump and dump.
Wait,
All right.
did I miss Greg's story?
No, we haven't
Oh,
gotten to there
thank
yet.
God.
We haven't had enough to drink yet. All right,
Okay.
next dead
Maybe one of
person.
those cookies.
Next dead person. All right. January 3rd, 1984. Dolly Young, a 48-year-old from Fremont. She was killed on the Matterhorn in an accident remarkably similar to the first Disneyland guest's death nearly 20 years earlier.
Taryn is the whitest.
So
Hey.
So, 2/3 of the way down the mountain, Young was thrown from her seat into the path of an oncoming bobsled, her head and chest becoming pinned beneath its wheel. An examination of Young's sled revealed that her seatbelt was not fastened at the time of the accident, but she was riding alone in the rear car of a sled, and no one could determine whether or not she deliberately unfastened her belt. That portion is now known as Dolly's Dip on the Matterhorn.
I don't like that.
Isn't that the dip on the Tomorrowland side that goes right underneath the
You're
Fantasyland
absolutely
side,
right.
right before seeing Harold the second or last time? Yeah,
You're absolutely right.
Dolly's dip.
Second is the last time. Yes, his name is Harold.
All right. 90
Also, sorry, I'm gonna finish chewing before I talk. But you can't unbuckle your seatbelt anymore, can you?
No,
Like
No,
it's,
not anymore.
It's now like
Not anymore.
they lock that shit.
Yeah. 98. In a tragic Christmas Eve accident, one Disneyland cast member and 2 guests were injured, one fatally, when a rope used to secure the sailing ship Columbia as it docked on the rivers of America tore loose the metal cleat to which it was attached. The cleat sailed through the air and struck the heads of 2 guests who were waiting to board the ship. Luan Phi Dawson, 33, of Washington, and his wife, Liu Thoi Vong, 43. Dawson was declared brain dead 2 days later and dead when his life support system was disconnected. This was the first accident in the history of Disneyland that was not attributable.
Attributable.
I am so
It was not attributable to a guest.
to negligence. You're
Now,
absolutely
I
right.
have a question for you. What
Wasn't
year
that-
was it again?
It was 98.
T. Kirby.
And for those following along from earlier today, we were talking about T. Kirby and and all of that type of stuff. And
Yes.
this is the first incident that happened underneath his reign.
Nice.
And as you can see, it's the first one that was due to Disney's negligence and not
Well-
the park and not the guests.
So with this one, there were people who were supervisors for their attraction who were not trained. People who were working the attraction who were not trained. It was
The biggest issue was
What's-
that they were using an elastic rope
Yes.
to attach
Yes.
the sailing ship Columbia to a cleat. And the sailing ship Columbia has 2 very large onboard motors to haul that boat that put out a lot of torque. And relying on something that's elastic to hold the boat against it is just asking for problems. The
Yeah.
cleat was never designed for those types of stresses. Disney at the time was also using elastic ropes on Jungle Cruise in both parks, and since then, elastic ropes have been removed from every single park attraction.
Good call.
yeah, that's good.
And that even
Also-
circles back around to the subs. When you have a sub coming in, you have to cleat it with a rope, but it's not elastic, and
Yeah.
you have to make sure they're under a certain speed in order for them not to basically snap back.
That's perfect. See,
Also,
I like that.
time frame wasn't Disney. And I think we might have talked about this a little bit, but weren't we? Weren't they? They weren't fixing things that
It was
they
known
weren't doing
as-
like manual, normal upkeep.
Yeah, they were in
basically?
what
That
was
was Rand
called-
was saying, yeah.
They were in what was called the Paul Pressler era.
Oh dear, it's an era that's
Well,
not
Rand,
good.
Rand said that they weren't the PMs weren't necessary anymore, and stuff like that as well. So they're
Basically, if
yeah.
it's not broken, don't fix it. But if it's going to break, wait for it to break.
Yes,
that sort of
basically, yeah.
situation. Yeah,
Basically, yeah. All right, September 5th, 2003.
that's my birthday.
Marcelo Torres of Gardena, California. He died. Several guests were injured when a locomotive separated from its train along a tunnel section of the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
And again, this is the second
That's the second
one,
one,
and
yeah.
this is when all of those people stepped down. They actually weren't fired, but they stepped down, whatever you want to call that. But it was the same day.
That was what, 2005, you said?
2003.
2003,
Oh,
yeah.
2003.
April 22nd, 2003, 36-year-old technician fell 60 feet from a catwalk in the Hyperion Theater, prompting an investigation by Cal OSHA.
And I do my little fall off the catwalk.
Oh, God.
Off the catwalk.
I fall
the
to my
catwalk.
death. Off the
And then
He
catwalk.
didn't die, did he?
2 years
Yeah,
after
he did.
that,
Oh, I feel bad now.
Bro, he
Okay,
died.
sorry.
yeah, he died. And then
Sorry, bro.
He died.
after he died, a lot of attractions around the resort stopped getting maintenance on the exterior of their facilities. And the reason why was because there was fall protection that was required to be installed by Cal OSHA in order for them to continue work. It's also why Alice in Wonderland was closed for about 2 years, and then they reworked it and installed that new path. It's all the same thing. It's all about fall protection.
And why Space Mountain was never cleaned.
Yeah,
For,
for years.
What, 3-4
Yeah.
years?
All right, here's enough about Disneyland rides killing people. Here's other things that happened there. September 25th, 2011, during Aladdin.
Death by churro.
Aladdin, which was amazing in the Hyperion Theater. So the flying carpet malfunctioned and flipped over, suspending Aladdin and Jasmine upside down for about 60 minutes. Oh, dear. Performance was immediately stopped and the theater evacuated. In 2004, diesel fumes from Disneyland Railroad number 3 locomotive began to accumulate in the firebox. It exploded and ejected the engineer from the locomotive's cab and inflicted serious burns to the firemen that were there as well. November 27, 2009, in Small World, the ride broke down while a guest was who was quadriplegic was on the ride. The guest was stuck in the ride's goodbye room for 30 to 40 minutes before being evacuated. He suffered from medical conditions that were aggravated by the blaring music and the inability to exit the ride. He sued Disney for not having adequate evacuation procedures for disabled guests on that ride and for not providing the proper warning developed for those. I was going to say, I hear ice. I thought it was you.
It's not me.
Proper warning that developed for those who could not evacuate during a ride stoppage. He was awarded $8,000.
Baller.
For hearing that song for 45
minutes. Yes, exactly.
Not enough money.
He deserved 20,000.
So in '76, an unidentified woman sued Disney Parks Corporation because she claimed that one of the 3 little pigs in at around It's a Small World grabbed and fondled her.
Touched her inappropriately.
She claimed to have gained 50 pounds as a result of the incident and sued Disney for $150,000 in damages for assault and battery, false imprisonment, and humiliation.
Do you think she stayed away from or consumed more pork?
Wait, but
Probably more.
how
Just
many
get back at
dollars
them.
per pound is that?
So she,
Once you get a taste,
she
you
sued
can't.
for $3,000 per pound. Yes, actually, it's what it is. $3,000 per pound. So she, 150 grand, 50 pounds, 3 grand. So, assault and battery, false imprisonment, and humiliation. I'm a calculator. The plaintiff dropped charges after Disney lawyers presented her with a photo of the costume, which only had inoperable stub arms.
Wait, isn't 5 times 3 15? Then how can 50 times 3,000 be 18 something?
Whatever. Let's move on.
Okay, sorry.
It had inoperable stub arms,
Right.
a common feature among the
I
shorter
don't know
characters
math.
that was eliminated in later years.
I'm an idiot.
Oh, so she's a liar.
Okay,
I'm
basically.
doing Common Core.
So
you just take all the zeros off.
So 3,000
Isn't
times
that how you do it?
3,000 times 5 would be 15,000.
Yeah.
3,000 times 50 would be 150,000.
Right.
Okay.
That's what I
Yeah,
said.
but Common Core, you just throw the numbers in and then choose what you want.
Exactly.
Correct. Right.
Like,
An employee playing Winnie the Pooh in '78 was alleged that he slapped a child and caused bruising, reoccurring headaches, and possible brain damage.
Oh, gosh.
The worker
That's
testi-
an Ike Turner level slap, dude. Like,
Play the song.
Yeah.
So the worker
reaching
testified
way back into the
Right.
Thousand Acre Woods for this one.
So the worker testified that the girl was tugging at his costume from behind. When he turned around, he accidentally struck the girl in the ear. At one point, this is amazing. At one point, the employee entered the courtroom after recess in the Pooh costume and responded to questions while on the witness stand as Pooh would, including dancing a jig.
Oh, God.
So
I love that.
The cross-examiner asked a question, and the person danced a jig for him, right? Appearing as Pooh showed the jury that the costumes' arms were too low to the ground to slap a girl the victim's height. The jury acquitted the worker after deliberating for a whopping 21 minutes. In August 2012, a family, I wanted the video footage of this. This is amazing. In August 2012, a family claimed an employee playing the White Rabbit was being racist towards their 6-year-old son by refusing to hug him. I'm going to go into. I'm glad this is a secret show. Other reported activities involved refusing to hold hands, refusal to allow the child to sit on the character's lap.
Right.
The family claimed that the character interacted with the white and Asian children, but not their kids. While Disney did offer an apology letter and even park passes to the family refused the offer and filed a lawsuit against Disney. And Disney would not confirm whether or not the employee was still employed. The lawsuit was settled on December 30th, 2013.
I can hear Brad shaking another one.
Yeah, I know. The name of the family was the Black family. It is what it is.
And that is the rest of the story.
That's what it is. March 7th, 81, an 18-year-old boy was fatally stabbed with a knife during a fight with a 28-year-old man after the victim supposedly pinched the man's girlfriend in Tomorrowland.
Hell yeah. What social club were they part of?
Oh, probably. No,
The
they don't
White
describe
Rabbits?
the White Rabbits because they don't describe to this show.
They were arguing over which version of Illuminations is the best.
I know. Jeremy and Kyle
It's
got
come
into
to
a
fisticuffs.
Yeah, Jeremy and Kyle got
Fisticuffs
in a fatal
before.
fight.
What is your social
Ooh, that's beautiful.
Okay. His family sued the park for $60 million. The jury found the park negligent for not summoning outside medical help, awarded the family $600,000. March 7th, 87. A 15-year-old boy was fatally stabbed in the Disneyland parking lot. The incident began as an early morning confrontation between rival gangs before escalating into a brawl.
You know where I want to fight as part of a gang? Disneyland.
Disneyland, right?
Because I want to pay to get my ass
Gotta pay
kicked.
me.
Just don't cross the White Rabbit.
Have you guys? Did you guys see the dude who was pepper sprayed outside of the Hollywood Tower, the Tower of Terror?
Oh yeah.
God.
I don't know.
All right, so February 18th, 2012.
Wait, hang on a second. We're going to talk about this drink.
Yeah.
Oh, this is my jam.
We still have an hour and 15 minutes, so don't worry about it.
Can I get another one of these after this?
Yes, we have extra.
All right, Brad, get on the microphone.
We have extra because I know Bev. So this
And I
is
love
a
you.
grasshopper, chocolate mint, little alcohol drink also.
Okay, did
That's about
did
it.
you spill
I mean,
it
there's
already?
Oh, my cup broke.
Well, now it's a party game, Bev. You
fine.
can't set it down. The
That
stem
is
broke
so
off.
overboard.
It's fine. I wasn't going to anyway.
It is.
A grasshopper. This is an old drink
That's
too, right?
fantastic.
It kind of tastes like mint Pepto-Bismol.
God, it's so good.
I had when we were in New Orleans, I ordered 6 of these at a bar one night. It was so great.
Really?
And then I felt real bad.
I
I
was gonna
bet,
say.
dude.
And by bad, I mean awesome.
Cream. Yeah.
Brad, would it be weird if I proposed right now?
Brad's actually getting married in a few
Yeah, I was
days.
gonna say.
Lucky girl.
Mazel.
Where is she? She's not here. Where's Cindy?
Carrying old people.
All right, so February 18, 2012, 53-year-old man was allegedly drunk and proceeded to assault an employee at the entrance of the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror around 3:30 p.m. Let me read this again.
That was Greg.
A 53-year-old man was drunk and was attacking an employee at the Tower of Terror at 3:30 p.m.
What social club was he part of?
The White Rabbit.
Stop.
So the employee pepper
Kyle
sprayed
did
them.
not do that.
The employee,
He's 52.
The employee pepper sprayed the man multiple times, which prompted him to continue to fight before he was subdued by guests.
Hell yeah, dude.
Insane.
Take
I
him
mean,
down.
The video is insane. There are random
I have-
people running up and to try to tackle him.
I feel like I've heard of this story, and I feel like I've maybe also watched that YouTube video.
I think
I
we
sent
talked
I
about it
sent
on the
to
show.
you.
Yeah.
It was absolutely insane. There is a woman yelling, "There's kids here!"
Yes.
As he's getting tackled
On my
by
daughter's birthday.
by a 78-year-old security person and multiple people who are just guests at the park. Insane.
I would have jumped in on that thing too, man.
Oh, and let you know, he has been suspended from being at the parks for the rest of his life.
Hell yeah. How are they going to know?
I mean, I've been pretty buzzed at the parks, but I've only been pepper sprayed once.
It's because I wanted to be.
So the last incident was an incident that actually stopped us from seeing some of our friends. In 2014, in December, there was an outbreak of measles at the park.
That's true.
Yep.
The patient zero was speculated to be an international visitor to the park. The outbreak led to California State Bill 277 regarding school vaccination requirements. And that's it for me for Disneyland.
That
Park
school
Sadness.
vaccination requirements is a
The next
Well, I
number is
totally-
number 1.
number one.
That was a really light segment. Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
that.
While I support
it's my
vaccinations,
pleasure.
it's a pain in the ass.
My pleasure.
Is it? Why?
Because they have to be done by a certain time to start school.
Oh.
So you have to be like on your game.
Wow.
You have to like parent and shit.
That would suck. Let's do some Disney news.
I think we need to do a moment of silence.
For all the people we just talked about that died.
all the real ones.
That drink is really good, but the aftertaste is definitely Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't even give a shit.
What if he just is giving us Pepto Bismol with like some mint flavoring in it?
I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom for an hour.
I think it's like the opposite of Pepto Bismol though, because it's giving me heartburn, but it tastes like it.
Pepto Abysmal.
Pepto-Bismol for your enemies. Yeah, ship it.
Can you stop bottling that?
Pepto
Can you
Bismol.
really start bottling that and selling it?
Yeah. Hey, you can use it.
Yeah.
Man, we've been doing this for an hour and 51 minutes, and I just want to go to bed.
It's an hour and 48 minutes for the record.
Also, when this is over, you're not going to bed.
I know.
We're not leaving.
We're hanging out. You know that, right? We're hanging out.
We're watching The Lion King over and over and over again.
Yeah, and
Titanic.
And Titanic.
At the same
And-
time.
Same time.
Oh, I have a question for
gonna see if they
Jeremy.
sync
No,
up.
Lion King 2.5.
No.
Talk to me. Go.
So, I this is a legitimate question. How do you feel about Roseanne?
Why is this like
Because
a?
Jeremy and I bonded over the fact that Jeremy like knew every line to Roseanne.
I
Like he
do,
loves
yeah.
the show
You
Roseanne.
remember that really
do.
funny joke from Roseanne? Yeah, me neither.
No, Roseanne was a great show.
No, it was great. It was really
terrible.
funny. It was really funny.
Don't you give me that side eye.
Terrence, don't even. And I'll tell you what
Be
else.
fighting with Kyle, not me.
I,
I don't like Roseanne.
that's great.
I got a spreadsheet on Roseanne. What I don't like about
thing. Here's the thing. I appreciate the show for what it was in the day that it was around, but clearly, it can't go on.
her. Let's do a thing.
But
Let's-
I don't want anybody taking it away from me. So like I go on those old rerun shows, like or networks that would show it, and like I still want to see Aunt Jackie dressed up in Halloween 1988.
I actually kind of agree with
So
you
don't
because
take it away from me.
like the Cosby Show, I watch it.
They won't show.
I
it
watch the
anymore.
Cosby Show. Like I go
No,
online
they
and
sure
find
won't.
it, and I'm like, I feel really bad watching this, but I love it because I grew up with it. And I
Right.
love that, and he was like America's dad. He was Heathcliff Huxtable. He was
Yeah.
America's dad. So I completely understand what you're saying.
I'm also not. I mean, I think they're different situations. I'm not convinced that Roseanne is as much of a racist as he is a
Can you mute him?
molester.
Can you mute him, please?
I
And
believe raper
so-
is actually the appropriate term.
Calling,
Yeah.
calling someone an ape's not a good thing. But let's go
No,
on.
agreed. I agree with
Just
that.
saying.
However,
whatever.
But she was a-
however,
but she-
I really
but
like
she
that
only
show.
used words, whereas
He used his
yeah.
apparently,
how much,
you
of a,
were
how,
telling
much,
me.
how much of a racist do you have to be a racist?
You were telling well, not just a little
But
bit.
racism is different than raping someone.
I'm not saying either one is good, but I'm
Dear.
saying that both of them come out in different ways. That's what I'm saying.
Next
What do you
segment,
mean?
Jason, what's going
what
on
I mean
in
is that you
Disney
can be a
World?
rapist without. Well, you can be a rapist to rape someone, and you have to be a racist to be racist towards someone, and it affects people in different ways. But it doesn't mean that one is better than the other. Both of them are absolutely reprehensible.
Can we
course,
can we
yes.
talk about something that isn't death or rape or
No, this is
murder?
the
No,
secret
it's
show.
a secret show.
Yeah.
You haven't heard this one.
I think.
Here we go.
Jason, what's the next story?
The next story is a good one. Walt Disney World introduces new pricing system.
Let's talk about rape. Now, I'll tell you what I think. They are raping the customers, and that's ridiculous. Okay. Speaking of rape,
Oh my god.
okay, right?
Has everyone left the chat room already? Because I'm pretty sure they have by this point.
Iger is the Bill Cosby of the Disney World.
Oh God! Bring back Stags.
Jesus
Christ.
Okay.
In hopes of spreading out attendance throughout the year, Walt Disney World Resorts announced on Monday a new
Jeremy, I really do.
a new pricing plan, which means admission into Walt Disney World could fluctuate based on the time of day and year. Starting October 16th, a ticket for one day, one park admission will range from $109 to $129. Obviously based on demand on any given day, like they're doing with Disneyland, with more desirable days at the park costing up to $129. The changes will also allow Disney customers access to an interactive calendar. So there's that.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
No, all that means is that they gave you a tool so that you can see how much it costs.
Right.
That's not anything other than that.
I think Beverly has a
Yes,
question.
Beverly, go ahead. The floor is yours. If you could
Let's
peel Jeremy
say-
off of it.
Let's say, let's say 10 years when Disney is not. I mean, theoretically, when Disney is not as relevant as it is right now. Like if they're not as like as people.
Hip.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hip. That's what the young kids say.
Are they going to reduce prices? Is that ever going to happen?
Well,
What's gonna happen there?
inflation will probably cover that.
Maybe.
When guests are ready to purchase tickets online, they may use an interactive online calendar, which displays different prices based on the dates guests choose
Never
to
cared.
visit, and states tickets will need to be used during a specific time period, Disney added.
So this directly affects Greg and I because we're going in May.
Oh.
And we have not bought tickets yet, and we are going to be buying tickets within the next week. because-
Getawaytoday.com.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably do that.
Do that.
So
Not probably. Getawaytoday.com/ears
Is
up.
this a shot? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, good.
I have some.
is that what number 1 is?
When it's all done, yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You probably should have too.
Wow, you can have Bev's water. Yeah? Yes, Murray? What can I help you with?
Incineration.
We were talking about stereotypes for some reason. The difference between like what people on the East Coast think Californians are all about. Like we all surf and smoke pot and whatever.
I've never surfed or smoked pot.
You've never smoked pot?
I've never surfed.
You know what? That's not true. I smoked a bong once, I think. It didn't do anything because
She smoked a bong.
Where's
Once.
your Elon Musk moment?
I smoked 4 bong. I had 4.5 bong yesterday.
I was very intoxicated.
I've smoked pot twice in my life.
Yeah.
Once with Becca, you heard the gasp, and the other one was not with Becca. Like about 3 days after we did. So one of her friends who was a nurse gave us
A marijuana.
a marijuana.
Yeah.
I had a marijuana,
Yeah.
and I was gonna hang out with Sam. It was before Sam and Bev got married. He was
It better have been.
yeah, he
The
was,
good old days.
yeah, he was living at what was called the Rat Pad.
It was literally
100.
100 years ago because we've been married forever.
But I went back.
R.I.P. to a real one.
I went into the backyard of our old place and I lit it up and I smoked it and I smoked it like you would smoke a cigarette. So I was done in like 3 minutes.
Oh dear.
You lit the fire
And
of the
then you threw it out.
marijuana.
It was medicinal. No, I didn't. And so I was like, I gotta take a shower. So I was in the shower, and about hour 2 in the shower, I realized that I'm listening to the water mid-air, like not hitting me and not coming out. I'm just listening to it mid-air, and I realized like I'm just hella stuck. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what do I do at this point? What have I never come down? And I'm like, well, I gotta go to Sam's. So I get dressed and I go to Sam's, and I'm there at Sam's house and I'm sitting on the couch. She's like, you okay? And I'm like, I just need to sit here for like an hour. I just need to make sure I'm okay because I feel like I'm just gonna be high for the rest of my life, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure I'm okay. And so after that, I was like, I think I like alcohol more than that.
So
than
you
weed.
didn't get paranoid? I mean, because like, okay, so I felt that way too. Like, oh my God, I'm going to be high for the rest of my
Well,
life.
I was
but
stone sober when I smoked the second time. The first time I was trashed and didn't feel anything.
No, but what I'm saying is like that didn't freak you out that you might feel that way for the rest of your life?
It freaked me out, and also I was like, I'm okay with it. Because it's a good feeling. It's not
Well,
a bad
this is
feeling,
reality
right?
now.
It's not a bad feeling, though,
2-hour
right?
showers.
Yeah. It's not a bad feeling. But after that, I was like, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Well, anyway, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I was intoxicated when I smoked and
The bong.
the bongs.
Yes. All right.
And
I had bong.
there was
I
a
had 4.5
cake. I got
bong.
real tired. I was intoxicated.
Yeah.
I got real tired, and there was a cake in my kitchen, and I was like, you know, what's gonna help me stay awake eating that cake. So I'm just
Not wrong.
alone in my kitchen eating a cake with a fork off the platform.
So you smoke a lot of pot.
And somebody
'Cause-
came in and they're like, "Oh, you got the munchies," and I was like, "I'm good at night." And then I went to sleep.
That sounds just like you now.
It's no different. So I don't.
Right.
I don't need to do that in my life.
You don't need to do that. Well, I was telling Jeremy what I think the stereotype of New Yorkers, and I mean I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because he's from New Jersey, but that they all eat deli sandwiches
Yes.
and are super rude.
Pastrami.
Didn't I say pastrami? It's a thing.
It's a thing.
Sure did.
All right, there you go. It was a better story before everyone interrupted all their stupid, boring marijuana stuff.
I'm sorry.
I know. I'm like.
Sorry, I'm not as cultured in marijuana as you are.
Jellies.
Tell me about my deli.
Cats.
Hey, let's do some more news. This is a good one because, I mean, it's really stupid, but I'm not even going to do it. You know what? I'm not even going to do it because it's that stupid. No, because it's a dumb story.
You just said it was a good one.
Yeah, but it's not anymore. I lied. What is this one about?
You do that a lot.
I do. We have an hour left.
We actually have more than that. We have to finish all 10 drinks.
I
We're
don't-
on 6.
I don't think that we're not dragging for time. I'm having a great time.
Yeah, me too, Bev.
Use your microphone, Jeremy. Come on.
Well,
Kyle took
monopoly.
it.
Kyle, don't take my mic, okay?
Drink your second water, Jeremy, for God's sake.
Kyle just gave him the straight side eye.
Oh no, I get that all the
I was
time.
like,
This motherfucker. Let's go.
bitch, I will cut
I'm going to reach
you.
back into the past and bring it forward.
All right, Petros, read the next article, and then I'll comment on it. It'll be great.
Wait. That sounds like a good pattern. We should follow that pattern.
Wait.
This was another stupid idea, but we've only been doing it
Petros.
for an hour. That's great. Yes, Petros.
Why are you freaking out about it? About we have an hour left? Because it seems like everybody's having fun, but you.
You have mentioned it like 6 times in the last minute.
Like, are you freaking out that we're not being entertaining?
I'm going to use the restroom.
Yeah, Petros.
I'm going to use the restroom.
Kyle,
Oh.
read an article.
All right, welcome to Ears Up. So,
Yeah, this is good.
I don't know how this
You are
works.
kinda loud
So
right
Just
now.
click on.
Am I better now?
Use your mouse and
Is
click.
it
Yeah,
better?
it's better.
Okay. So for 2 women hired to pose as cartoon characters at the Tokyo theme park that advertises itself as the Magical Kingdom, that's a run-on sentence. This experience was anything but magical. Instead, they say they encountered abusive managers and, in a rare lawsuit against the Oriental Land Company, they own Tokyo Disneyland. The operator of Tokyo Disneyland are seeking to redress for power harassment and excessive workloads that damage their health. What is this article? The women were hired on
More
a
sexual
contract.
harassment?
Yeah, I mean, okay, they were hired on a contract basis to dress as Disney characters to entertain the swarms of visitors to the site in Urasu, Shibuya. I'm not going to.
What's the headline?
The
What's
headline is how dream job of dressing as Disney figures lost its magic.
Okay.
Figures.
Figure.
Figures.
Figure. What's a figure?
Sound it out.
Basically, it gets pretty bad though. Apparently, the woman later asked another supervisor to improve the dressing room's environment after she displayed symptoms of asthma, but he coldly told her, "Are you sick? Then die," according to the court claim.
Oh dear.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not very nice.
Why are we keep talking about negative things?
It's
What
a
negative
secret
thing
show.
have we talked
We
about?
talk about shitty Disney things on the
Wait,
secret show.
I don't know.
Yeah,
what
but there
the
was like
neg-
a whole segment on death, and now it's like, what's something happy that Disney did?
The other show's for the happy things, and this is for the negative things.
This is for the
Okay,
real
what-
things.
All right, go to the top and see what else is there.
Ooh, how about $15 an hour at the Anaheim Resort District?
Don't close it. Don't close it.
Oh, he's got his links.
We have
Click
to-
on-
Actually, hold on. I'm going to be the host for a second. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Greg, I heard a story about you driving the submarines.
Yeah,
Possibly-
Jason's not going to be okay with that. You can't.
God, I can't. Well, he left.
He's right there. He had to
just
go
walked
pee pee.
by.
Click on another link and see what happens.
How about I tell a story?
Go for it. Go for it.
Oh,
I don't know any good stories.
Okay.
You don't have any good stories from when you were a CM.
I was never a CM.
Yeah,
I
she
was
was
into
Imagineering.
Imagineering.
well,
Imagineers aren't CMs.
Imagineers are not CMs. Imagineers
Really?
work in.
Let's talk about this.
I worked in
You're better
Glendale or
than them?
Burbank.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I did not work in Anaheim.
So Imagineers are not CM. So is
Yeah, quote
that
Jason,
is
get
there
the
like a
fuck out of my city.
hierarchy thing there?
It's not a hierarchy thing. It's a different business group. So CMs work in Team Disney Anaheim, whereas Imagineers work for WDI, which is a totally different business group.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Interesting.
Walt Disney Imagineering.
Okay.
So Jeremy,
know.
how are you feeling right now?
Petros is back.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how drunk are you?
4.
Yeah.
4? No.
4 is how
14.
sober you are, or
I'm gonna say
No.
6.
I'm not
For
that
you?
drunk.
I'm like a 3.
I'm not that drunk.
That is a lie.
Someone
No.
get Brad. Hey, Brad.
What's with that accent?
I thought
Sorry,
you said
I'm not Brad.
I thought you said bread.
Sorry, I'm
Like,
not.
someone get this guy some bread.
Someone get me. Is it keto?
Hey,
Keto.
Get Brad in here. Brad. That's what I need. I'm not that drunk.
I need
No.
my Brad.
I need Brad.
What were you guys
do you
talking
just
about?
do you just like Brad because of the drinks, or because you just kind of find that really attractive, or
Because I'm
Por
sitting
qué lo
here
no estás?
drinking water.
I need a drink.
Basically,
Drink.
he's calling his drink servant.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Garçon.
Hey, Brad, where's the Brad bell?
where's
apparently
number,
he can't see
where's
clearly
number
anymore.
1?
Yeah. Jeremy has
glasses
his
went on.
reading glasses on to see. That's how bad it is.
Don't judge him.
I feel like right now is when you start bringing out the wigs. Like I don't
wigs?
know, like the
I'm
wigs and the
sorry?
dress up stuff.
that's what-
That's the
Oh.
level of drunk that Jeremy's at.
How have we not bonded over? Not bonded.
I mean,
just saying. How have we not talked about this before?
Wig?
How have
You
we
wanna have a
not
wig
talked
party?
over wigs?
It's a wig out.
Can we read a story or what?
Hey,
Yeah.
Quick, give me my wig. I'm not listening to this story until until I'm wearing a wig.
I will literally go get you a wig.
Oh, sorry, Brad. Oh,
You have wigs here?
I have several. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
I do not
Yeah,
own
go get wigs.
Is that
then.
I-
a story that
I
we want to
do
talk
not
about or
own-
not?
a wig.
okay. Read this article from the Sun, Petros. Read it.
This is called The Dirtiest Things Disney Workers See.
Oh God, this sounds like a freaking sweep spot thing.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it is.
Staff have been sharing their most disturbing experiences from the theme park, and it makes you wonder how Mickey and Minnie can carry on smiling all day long.
Oh, okay.
Did that say from licking ketchup
Yeah,
bottles?
don't worry about it. Thank goodness most restaurants now use sachets. Sachets? Sachets?
Sachets.
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 Of condiments instead of bottles because, according to one cast member, they had been sucked on by previous guests.
Gross.
As Disney worker who goes by the name The Pale Giant on Reddit says, kids would lick the tops of condiment shakers and put them back.
Sounds like something Jeremy would do.
Jeremy's a ketchup bottle licker.
Has this been licked by Brad?
The only ketchup I need. Oh, here we go. We got a wig.
It's
So
a
what
wig.
is-
It's
what is
wig
the reason
time.
for you
I'm the
having a wig?
man.
Don't worry about
Oh,
it.
Halloween. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good answer.
No, take the headphones off, dum dum.
Wait,
Terrence,
Terrence, you don't have a bag
Right.
of costumes?
What person doesn't know to take the headphones off first?
Oh shit.
You. Get him a pastrami. Maybe you're suffering from a pastrami deficiency. Wow, you look like Emo Phillips. Today we're going to talk about.
You look like Freddie Mercury before he fully embraced his gay thing.
I feel like Howard Stern.
That is
Robin.
very Howard
Listen,
Stern.
Robin. Oh,
More like a Joey Ramone, but it's
is this
fine.
Gary the retard calling?
By the way, that wig smells like
No, that's just Kyle.
oh, it's just Kyle.
Yeah, like where is
musty?
this? Where
You get
is
used
this
to it.
been?
It's been in a trunk since
It's
Taryn
been-
was in short pants.
It's been in Terrence's hope chest since 1973.
Can you just hold your drink near your face really fast while I take a picture of this moment in time?
I don't want to be in this photo.
Hell yeah!
The captain of SpectroRadio.us,
The
everybody.
side eye.
I can't believe that this
I'm
is
not
in,
gonna post
in
that.
Terrence's hope chest. all
Where's
this
my
time.
Brad? There's your Brad right here.
There were others.
Brad. I've been waiting for you, Brad. I want another grasshopper.
That's Grasshoppers.
And make it-
I'm not
my
Brad.
jam.
Why
You have
don't,
to
why
make it
don't
through
you
all 10 before you get the grasshopper?
why don't you
And still
hop
be
to
upright.
it? What is this, Brad? Brad.
So
Okay,
I had
tell
a
us,
different drink for this one because Jason wanted weird, and eggs and port are weird. So
Eggs and
this one is
port.
actually called the Golden Girl.
Brad, thank you for being a friend.
It's not Brad. It's Brad.
Thank you for being a friend.
No. Your heart's true. You're a pal
And
you're
a confident.
I appreciate it.
So it has Bacardi, simple syrup, pineapple juice, tawny port, and a whole egg. A whole egg?
Thank you for
Getting our
straining the
protein
eggs.
in.
this time.
Thank you for straining the eggs.
Thank you for straining the eggs.
It's got
I-
this like caramely flavor.
I
to
don't
it.
hate this.
It's fantastic.
It's pretty good.
My shorts like it too.
Oh no!
I'm looking forward to
My pants
salmonella.
finally.
I thought you were just happy to see me. Okay.
That's it's all right. Okay. More gross stuff that happens. When someone said a ride was so scary they pooped themselves, you don't take it too literally, but one guest did just that.
Oh dear.
Gosh.
A Disney worker who goes by the this was all like on Reddit. So, you know, whatever. But his name on Reddit was This Man Eating Beans. That's his online name.
Nice.
Thinking about those beans. He said one time a man couldn't hold it anymore after he got on the ride and proceeded to defecate after being harnessed in. His shorts were very short.
Oh.
So by the end of the ride, most of his seat and all of his legs were covered in shit.
Oh man.
I don't feel bad for him because you know when you have to poop.
No,
Dude,
I do
it-
feel bad for him. That sucks, man. There's some times where it just hits you on the middle. Like if you're in the middle of the ride and it hits you.
But you're not in the middle of the ride. Wasn't even buckled in before he was trying to hold it.
I mean,
he just
honestly,
didn't want to
no,
wait.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think of
Didn't wanna
think
get
of
out
the
of line.
worst place that you could shit yourself, and tell
Disneyland.
me where that is. It's probably right in smack dab the middle of Disneyland, where you know you have to take a 20-minute tram ride just to get back to your goddamn car.
That's a good
I want to
point,
know
yeah.
what
Just
happens.
go buy new shorts at Downtown Disney.
Look,
Can I try these on
Where are you
first?
gonna shower?
It's totally
With-
normal.
Has it really happened to all of us?
Without
Greg?
fail.
I'm not
Everybody.
sure.
It's happened to everybody.
without fail, every single time I go to Target, I have to poop.
You shit yourself?
No, I don't shit myself. Never happened. Not true.
It's
But
the smell of popcorn
I
and
don't know.
Starbucks.
I don't know what it is. I walk into Target, I get to the
And then
T-shirt
you shit
section, and I'm
yourself.
like, I have to poop.
No, I think that's a thing. Like it hasn't happened to me, but my mom used to go to TJ Maxx, and and my mom and my aunt would both have to stand in line for the bathroom before shopping every time.
Every time.
That is 100% not a thing.
Is it like the smell of fresh
It's true.
retail or something?
I don't know. because-
It's
Look,
the sale. The
it's
smell of
excitement.
sales are in the air.
I'm just saying, like, I know.
$6.99 for socks.
And also, when that urgency,
Exactly.
when that urgency to poop hits me, it's not a surprise. I've probably
not a
had to go for
surprise.
a while. I just haven't. And then it's like, oh, girl, you got to get yourself to the bathroom now.
Get yourself.
I have a 10:30 a.m. appointment.
10:30 every day.
10:30 a.m. appointment.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
I found a secret bathroom in my building that nobody uses.
Oh,
there
see,
you go.
that's the best. That's what I
fantastic.
definitely don't miss about working in an office or with other people is the shared bathroom experience.
It's terrible.
But now that I have a kid, if I'm not going to the bathroom and she's asleep, I have to like bring her like sort of in the hallway so I can still see her. So I'm like sitting there pooping and I go, "Hi, Alice." How
Do you
are
ever
you?
hold her while you're pooping?
No,
I have
we're not that bonded yet.
Look, I have definitely held Abby while
about your
pooping when
cats?
she was a baby, and also nursed her
Yeah,
mid poop.
I had to do that as well.
Really?
Nursing made me have
It's
to poop
terrible.
every
Yeah.
time, and
No,
I
not every
I could
time.
not find anything on Google about that, so I thought it was just me.
It didn't happen to me every time, but it happened a couple times.
Oh God. Well, I would love to know your Google. I would love to look through your Google history. I really would.
No one should ever
Delete
look at
that.
my Google.
You know what?
Clear
That should
immediately.
take the place of Taryn Stinks.
Sharon's Google.
What's on Taryn's Google history? Give me your phone right now. Greg, take her
Poops
phone
out,
from her,
poops
please.
out.
Greg, take her phone from her right now.
I just looked up him and was like, "Who's that?" And then remembered it was Jeremy.
Should I read some off?
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm just
those
gonna
aren't
throw
that
this out
great.
here. This is degenerating quickly. Greg should tell his story while we can still all understand it.
Let me
But it's not
finish.
a
Let me
poop
finish
story.
this stupid article first. Here we go, because it was going to be my perfect segue.
So you guys don't want to know when I poop?
No.
You look
Riders
fabulous.
rides are supposed to be exciting, but not in an X-rated way, apparently. So feel some sympathy for the staff member who had to deal with a fellow employee masturbating on a ride. A fellow employee.
What?
Wow. That's
A Disney worker who goes by the name the Pale Giant. That's what I was called in high
reference to
school.
his-
Yeah. It said that we had a cast member yank one out in broad daylight behind Soarin' Over the World.
Oh.
I bet he really was soaring over the world. What's going on? Yeah, Emo Phillips. Yeah. He was fired immediately after.
No shit.
This one is called You Cue, You Lose. When you gotta go, but it's always worth heading to a toilet before you let loose. Unfortunately, not all guests to Disney theme parks want to leave their spot in line for a ride. A Disney worker said a toddler squatted down and took a shit on the ground in the line, and the stroller smeared it like 5 feet.
Oh.
It's like that Roomba story of the Roomba going over the dog shit.
I saw a kid peeing in the line in Disneyland Paris.
Really? Ew. What'd
The
you
end.
do?
Go Petros. That's it.
Sam.
I like how, so Jeremy, those of you not watching, Jeremy like leans into his microphone, like gets like a lock, like 4 feet closer, and with one hand he's twirling his wig hair, just like spinning it between his thumb and forefinger, and telling me that drunk story.
Sam.
It was like he was trying
Samuel-
to suggest something sexual to you at the same time.
I saw a baby piss once.
Samuel Aaron Moore has a story about children peeing in line at Disneyland.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is it?
It involves Abby and Autopia.
Okay. Another Disney cast member said Expedition Everest has a super long outdoor queue, and when closing the ride, someone had to walk the queue to clean it and make sure there wasn't anyone hiding. They found a pile of poop,
Oh.
and from what I was told, it wasn't little kid size. It was definitely an adult. A pile.
That
A
just
pile of
sounds
poop.
fake.
Well, yeah. I mean, who knows, man?
I mean, what did someone go shit in the corner and then someone else walked over and said, "That looks like a good idea. I'm
That's
gonna
pretty
shit
big.
in that corner too."
14 plus.
And then
T-Rex
another one
does it.
said, my wife worked at Disneyland, and she said that a kid in line had to pee. So the mom broke out a paper bag for him to use and threw it away in a can near the ride loading area. So the work area smelled like pee.
Ew.
Thank you.
That's pretty gross, right?
That's super gross.
Jeremy now is pulling his hair up away from the back of his neck because he's hot.
Use your band.
Here, use,
Use
look,
your band.
I pulled my hair up with my
On your
my
arm.
purple band. Drink your water.
Drink your water, sweetheart. You're driving home tonight, right?
We'll hold your wig back.
Do we have any additional wigs for him?
Not take it off.
Oh
just
yeah, we
hold it
have
back.
plenty more.
Because I think we need to.
We need a wig change.
You want a
yeah,
wig,
we need a wig
change?
change.
Jeremy.
Return to Oz, and there's just like 100 wigs around.
There's at least 5.
Return to Oz.
Yeah, Petros, I've seen it. Okay.
Jeremy.
Sorry.
Use your purple
Hi.
wristband.
Return
Make
to
a
Oz.
bun.
Return to Oz.
And use it to hold your hair, like I did.
Oh, you got a scrunchie. Oh,
Or
thank
Becca has a
God.
scrunchie.
Thank God, it's so warm.
So hot in here. I need a scrunchie.
All right, Greg. Let's talk about submarine ride. What's your most embarrassing moment at the Disney parks?
One time, I split my pants.
Shut it.
So,
What was happening?
Finding Nemo, right? Well,
Yeah. Get
let
right
me
on
start.
that.
Let me start with
Get on
costuming.
mic, yeah.
Yes, please do.
So when you find a pair of pants from costuming that fits you well,
Yeah.
and that aren't worn and tattered, you keep them because you can check them out. You can have up to 3 pairs of pants, 3 tops, and 2 outwear, like checked out in your name.
Okay.
So I had this pair of pants. I loved it. It was amazing. I washed them on my own washer. It was great. So one day I'm loading a submarine. So I'm in the helmsman position, and you have like 20 guests walking towards you and 20 guests walking behind you because it's a 40-person sub, right?
Right.
So you usually bend down and like greet them and like tell everybody to move the fuck down and like no, you still have to move down, like fill in every seat.
Yeah.
They don't, but it's fine. But then you shove everybody away. So this one day, just normal day.
Yeah.
I bend down and there's this lady walking right towards me, and I bend down and my pants split from my butt all the way through my crotch to the zipper of my pants.
Wow, dude.
So everything's just hanging out. I look at her. No, I had underwear on. No, underwear on,
I was
but
like, that's-
still,
okay,
it's
that's
like
different.
right there.
Okay.
So I look her in the eye. She looks me in the eye, and we both are like, "Oh shit!" And I'm
This
like,
is a guest.
right, exactly.
All right.
And I'm like, close my legs, and she's like cracking up. I'm like, you gotta like move down. Like once you start loading a sub, you have to keep loading it. Like
Yeah.
you can't get people back up that weird spiral staircase once everybody's going, right?
Right.
So I'm like standing there like greeting everybody, and I like find my jacket in the back of like the cab, wrap it around myself.
Like a 12-year-old on her first period. Let's go on.
No, exactly. Like not even kidding. So I have to do like a 17-minute like round trip, right?
Right.
So, you know, the subs, when you're standing there, everything from your waist down is showing. Like,
bro.
So I like wrap things around and like I'm good. And I like pull up to the dock. And
Did you
I'm
make like an adult diaper?
yeah, pretty much. I mean, I just took my jacket and like wrapped it
Okay.
around, but I'm like
Yeah.
doing like I need to get off. Like I need to rotate. This is like I think my first rotation, and you do like 3 at a time.
Okay.
So you're on the attraction for like close to an hour in 3 rotations. And like I'm trying to get like attention, and I had to do like one more round of it. Like with this like makeshift
Jeez,
tight
dude.
whatever. So I get off like finally, and I like go to my head person, and I'm like, I need to go to costuming. They're like, why? I'm like, why? And I just go
spread
pick it
'em.
up. Oh yeah.
So you took the jacket off and just squatted right there
Yeah.
and show up? Wow.
Pretty much. I'm like, I gotta go. They're like, oh yeah, go to costuming, because
Yeah.
it's like super hard to like go to break when
Right.
you're like on shift, because it's very regulated on like how many people are on the dock and everything at a time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
What did they say when you got to costuming?
it
Like,
happens.
what do you do?
No, it
Does
really
it
happens.
really?
No, that's why you find your good pair of pants. Like, I mean, you have these costumes that are worn by hundreds of people at a time, and it was like the standard blue pants.
Uh-huh.
So if you look like next time you go to the parks, like most cast members are wearing a standard blue pant. And like it's like the work pant, and it works with every costume, and they do that on purpose, obviously,
Right.
Yeah.
because you know
Smart.
that's
Right.
a common thing. But like costuming's amazing too. Like you go in there and they're like, "Oh yeah, it happens." Like you throw your pants in the bin and it magically like gets checked back in. Like,
Okay.
but yeah,
There's like a barcode on it or whatever.
it's a RFID tag.
Oh, geez.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
they
Wow.
introduced it right when I started working there.
So they can track you through the
know.
park.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Really?
I mean, they could, but
Yeah.
I don't think they use the costuming to track
Huh.
you. through the
That's
park.
amazing.
But yeah, so when you return your costumes and everything, it just scans them back in, and then when you pull out your uniforms that you need or whatever, like they used to do it where you couldn't walk off property with a costume on.
Right, right,
Like
right.
that was like over a decade ago.
yeah.
But now they you can check out like I said, like 3 pairs of pants. Like there's things that you can take home, and you can wash yourself too if you really like those pants.
Okay, I have a question.
Jeremy now has a unicorn horn. Go ahead. Jeremy.
Unicorn.
Yeah, sure, unicorn.
Unicorn.
Okay, so this is a secret. This is a secret show question.
Okay, go ahead, please.
But please.
What's Kyle doing? Go ahead.
Okay, so
Please.
you're in the middle of your 17-minute route around the lagoon,
Uh-huh.
and you get that urge
That urge to herbal, or
to go to the bathroom. Okay.
you can get off.
What happened? Like emergency. Like, oh no. I gotta go right now.
Does this happen to you frequently?
Well, I don't often pilot a submarine around the lagoon. But
I just mean where you have less than 20 minutes.
less than 20 minutes, less than 10 minutes.
Okay.
You don't have an option.
That's called Code Brown.
Yeah, Code Brown.
Code Brown.
Welcome to my world, Bev. So my question is, okay, like in any job, in any of these jobs, because I do feel like, in any of these jobs, you really, in my job, I can just not, I can just go.
You could just go and.
But like, you are on the spot, okay?
Yeah.
What happens?
You have to. You have
Hold
to
it.
finish your lap, and then
clench.
you run away.
Clench. Okay.
And then, unfortunately, if you're like gassy, all those guests are just gonna.
Gassy, I can handle.
Has that happened
What?
for you? Where you were
Or
doing
any
a
of your
sub,
compadres.
and all
No.
of a sudden you one leaked out?
Oh yeah, I fart out all the time.
I
Well,
feel
the
like
thing,
the,
though-
the air is so like.
No, the way that it works though is that when you're in the helm, behind you is the intake of the air conditioning.
Oh, good call.
So
Okay.
all of those
That's good then,
people,
yeah.
those 40 people that are beneath you, all of their germs are flowing up behind you
Yeah.
and
Towards you.
through the
Okay,
back of the
okay,
helm. Yeah.
What is like the ratio or the rate of sickness? Because like they say when you have kids and they go to school, you start as a parent getting way sicker all the time.
Right.
That's a fact.
Did you find you were like sick more frequently?
I didn't think I was sick more frequently.
Yeah.
I think it was. I mean, I was pretty young too, so
That's true.
had a strong immune system. But
Now you're frail. You got
Right.
your bubble around the corner.
exactly.
We'll bring it in.
No, but there was one so I had a couple claustrophobic guests, and that was always really interesting because if you e-stop the subs, then
Let me guess. E stands for emergency.
Right,
Hell
exactly.
yeah. Or you give them
got it.
ecstasy. I don't know.
Look at you.
well, yeah.
I could pilot a sub.
So if the subs are e-stopped, then the monorail, steam train, Autopia, and well, if the people were still operated, then that would be what would have to e-stop as well.
Okay.
So you don't e-stop the subs unless there's like a fire or something.
Right.
So when you have a claustrophobic guest, you have to do a full stop of the ride where you basically call it into Harbor Master as like central control.
Yeah.
And you have a claustrophobic guest, and then you have to pop the two the hatches, but you can only pop them so much, and you can only have them sit like on the stairs,
Thank you.
and that way they can see that you're not actually underwater.
Right.
And that happened pretty often.
Okay.
And it sucked because you have to shut the whole attraction down.
Yeah, dude.
Everybody has to wait, and there's a whole procedure, and oh my god,
Jeremy.
it's so good.
Wait.
I just took the most meta picture of him taking a picture of himself.
Hell yeah,
so
dude.
great.
All right, Brad.
Is this Nog?
What are we drinking here? You might think it's Nog.
So this does taste like eggnog, actually.
Mhm.
So this is, I'm going to actually read this to you because this is also kind of gross.
Oh no, as we're drinking it.
Bev just shot it out of her mouth.
And it's also kind of cool historically.
Okay.
So the flip recipe from colonial times were hot drinks.
Get it on the microphone and
Sorry,
there you go.
my bad.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. Just
It's
never
hard to
do it
read
again.
and do this at
Yeah.
the same time and make you
dear.
drinks.
and make you drinks. You
With
dick.
many variations that were inns from the Boston Road. Generally, they involved a batter made brown sugar and eggs, sometimes cream that was added to a large mug of beer, then scalded with the loggerhead, which is a large hot poker.
Okay.
The loggerhead was heated in the fire and thrust into the mug of rum, brandy, or applejack, and then added to the fortified drink.
That sounds really good for some
So
reason.
the recipe for this is 1 ounce of your choice of spirit,
Okay.
1 teaspoon of sugar, and 1 small whole egg. So it's essentially the same drink I sent you, but it's shaken, and which is what makes the whole difference in the world.
Huh. What's the difference?
The drink I sent you was an egg with sherry poured on top, and that is gross.
Wow, this is that's boozy.
So my
That's
choice
hot.
my choice is I used spiced rum in it.
Okay.
So it's Sailor Jerry's.
It's a good call. I like it.
I think the nutmeg is really making me feel like Christmas.
I think that wig's
I
making
did that
you
just
feel
for you, Jeremy.
Jeremy has like a blonde page boy wig on now or whatever,
who is
dude.
Jeremy?
So we
I
have-
don't. Every time I look at him, it's a different wig now.
He looks
and
like
I'm
a
really excited for the rest of the
alive.
night.
I'm the wig master.
I want him to squire me. Like you just look like a squire. Where's your tunic?
I feel like I look
Get
like
my armor.
I feel like I look exactly like my Aunt Shirley.
No, whenever you say something, you need to go like, yeah, there you go. You got the wiggle in the back.
Oh my god.
So timing wise, we're looking pretty good. We've got 2 drinks left.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Two?
my
We're
God.
hitting the
Does somebody
2
want
hour
to
mark.
volunteer for the big one?
I will.
Perfect.
Wow, Taryn.
She's ready.
The big one?
What did you mean?
Are we at the end? Are we gonna devote
Ask Jason.
vote on what we like the best? Which one?
I don't
know
remember
my
the first
favorite.
two
them.
though.
We're controlling.
I vote Grasshopper. It
We're
was
controlling
great.
Greg's ears right now.
But I also
Oh,
love
are
this
you?
one. It's
Yours
this one or
died.
Grasshopper.
Do we have extra of this one?
It's
I want that.
It's
I want that.
It's good, but there's no like mid palate. If I can just be real dumb real fast.
No, I don't care. I like it.
It's like really dry,
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
No.
it is.
but like hella boozy, like boozy.
Hell
I'll share.
boozy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we got 2 more. Okay, I feel like I can make it.
I mean, not that our listeners care, but I think that you described it perfectly because
Thanks.
there's an initial taste and then there's an aftertaste, but there's no like.
There's no middle ground.
The middle is like water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really weird.
And also, it smells like eggnog. I was
It does. It
expecting
smells
to be
like Christmas.
So much like thicker and like.
Thanks, man.
I
It tastes
don't
like
think
heartburn.
I like it.
I don't
but
hate it. I'm not mad at
This
it.
tastes like that horrible thing.
It tastes like ouch tomorrow. Actually, that's what it tastes like. I'm like, this is not
Yeah.
gonna feel good.
No, I think we maybe need another round of waters, Matt. If you want to be water boy. High quality H2O.
Mama said that football's the devil.
Here's a question I want to know because there's a lot of like young people who work at Disney. And there's a lot of like attractive people who work at Disney. What's the sex like in the back, like the backstage? Is there a lot of like, you know what I mean? Is there a lot of sex going on?
I mean,
I would.
now
Here's
we're
what I
getting down
think.
to it.
Here's what I think. I think there is. Because like you go through like Haunted Mansion through the backstage. Not like I've ever been there, but I've heard stories. There's nooks and crannies, no pun intended, of like all over the park. How can you not be banging people all day, every day in that park?
Right, that's such a rumor though. Like,
Is it?
Yeah, there's so many. Even the backstage areas that you think would be a nook and cranny,
Yeah.
like there are constantly people walking through those areas.
Okay.
Like
okay.
there's, unless you're like actually in like the tunnels of Tomorrowland, which
Right.
I have seen once.
Okay.
But I wasn't like hooking up with anybody.
Right.
But
You weren't investigating a place.
yeah,
to,
no, I mean
get
it
laid.
really is like a city. Like
Yeah.
backstage is just as, I mean, not just as crowded, but it's very frequent.
Okay.
Like, people changing shifts, getting to their positions when they're like checking in.
I'm
and,
slightly
like,
disappointed now.
I know.
I have
I'm sorry.
I have
I'm
a
sorry to burst your
follow-up
bubble.
question. I have a follow-up question though that goes along the same line. So like,
Alright.
if you've ever worked in a restaurant, it's like everybody's having sex with everybody.
Thanks, dude.
Not at the restaurant, but they are. Is it the same at Disneyland? Because they're all people of the
Taryn
same
worked at a
age.
restaurant for a
Right.
while.
Oh, but I wasn't one of those.
Oh.
I
I totally was.
I'm sure you were. No, it's not there. But that's what I mean. Is it the same? Is it like little cliques of? Oh,
Yeah.
We've got a nodder over here, a former Disneyland.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
there's definitely, cliques of people, and there are like, people that I still talk to that I like worked with and stuff. But yeah, it really is. It's kind of
Okay.
like a.
Oh, tequila years.
Tequila
Our
years,
unnamed
yeah.
guest is
Nothing
saying.
good ever comes from tequila years.
So what I've heard, I haven't heard that about Disneyland. What I've heard about Disney World, because there's like a separate compound where Disney World employees,
Well, they recruit differently, and then you also have the
Yeah.
Disney College program too.
and that's what it is. So they have like a whole apartment complex
Right.
that they all live at, and they're saying that is a full-on like college dorm.
I mean, yeah, it is a college dorm. Style.
Yeah.
yeah, for
It
sure.
also-
if you're
it
in
also
the college
depends on,
program.
like-
You can hear what I'm doing right now. Like,
God,
full
it's like an
on.
Olympic Village.
Yeah.
It also
Basically,
depends
Yeah,
a lot
Olympic
on the
Village.
business group. Like I've heard a lot about characters and about people in shows.
Well, yeah, parade people don't talk to people that are in attractions.
Right.
Why would you ever?
But face,
Right.
face characters are supposed to be the ones that are,
There you go.
God, getting face.
What is that?
Yes.
What is that symbol
that
you're
re-
trying to do?
reference
What are you trying to
pounding?
do right there?
It is.
Tenderizing meat.
Yes.
You're
You're,
a butcher.
you're doing what right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that a straight
I'm
thing where
disappointed.
people just slap their fists?
Yeah.
I mean, no, it happens.
That's what
It's a
happened.
straight thing.
It's like, what's up, girl?
Yeah.
She's like, what?
And then she's impregnated.
I can tell you in like
That's how
the
it happens.
class
Yes.
that I was hired in,
Yeah.
like there's definitely been maybe 4 or well, I guess it would be 6 people that got married. Like
Wow,
and
okay.
met their spouse at Disneyland in my like traditions class, which
Sure.
I think was 2011.
Okay.
There's like
I mean, I imagine there's like hookups and people sleeping with each other, but I just was like,
Right.
I would figure at the park that's just what you do.
No,
We got 15 minutes before shift. Let's go.
yeah, that's not going to happen because you're not paid for those 15 minutes that you're not working.
Right.
Well, you may or may not know this, but since we're on the topic of sex at Disneyland, do you know of
You had
guests
sex at Disneyland?
Taryn.
of guests who
You
have
had sex at Disneyland?
No,
That's literally not what she said.
that's not what I said at all.
But did you?
No.
Okay.
Are there
Guests?
do you know of
I
do you
don't.
hear stories
I
of
mean,
guests?
I'm sure there is, but
Well,
I
there was
never
that time that Bev
personally-
tried to fucking pull Sam off and Pirates and
He
didn't do it.
wouldn't allow it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what? Say that again.
What'd you do?
That was so slurry and a hot mess.
Were you trying to tug Sam on Pirates?
I tried.
She's trying to be a little toot.
Homie,
No,
okay, number
don't do it
one,
on
can I
Pirates.
just-
It's Haunted
cameras
Mansion.
everywhere. There are cameras
Right,
everywhere.
no, I,
There
I
have
thi-
been
I-
people-
I didn't realize that, but I feel like he did, and he was like, "I'm gonna need you to stop now."
There are people, like literally, they have said overhead, we can see you.
Oh no, I've actually
Please stop.
I've been on Mansion when they like it was broken down, and they're like, there are cameras recording at all times.
So your chance was on Monsanto's journey through inner space. And since then, there hasn't really been any chance. Just FYI.
Whose journey through where?
It was Journey Through Inner Space presented by Monsanto.
Oh,
Well, Kyle just dumped his water on his phone.
at least it wasn't alcohol.
I think it's waterproofish.
It is.
I hope so.
Then why am I trying to
I
clean
don't
it? There
know.
you go.
I was more worried about whatever this was.
Oh, that was really
That's only
nice,
Jeremy's
Jason.
And look,
favorites.
let's be clear. I was only like kind of trying. I knew he wasn't gonna let me, and it was fine. I was just putting the effort forward.
To make it feel like he's worthwhile.
Yeah.
That's all good.
All right.
I mean, if you want to get like, just go to Tom Sawyer's Island and like whatever.
Look,
And just crank it out.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's where you
there's
smoke
plenty
weed,
of
too. It's
there's
great.
plenty of
Break it
small
out.
canyons there.
I'm good.
Mommy, I saw 2 strangers hugging like you and Daddy and
Hard chat.
Daddy's brother do.
They smell like skunks.
Daddy's brother.
I don't know.
Where is this going?
2 women hired to pose as cartoon characters at the Tokyo Disney theme park that advertises
read this
itself
one.
as the magical kingdom. The experience was anything but magical. Instead, they encountered abusive managers and, in a rare lawsuit against Oriental Land Company, operator of Tokyo Disneyland, are seeking redress for power harassment. Power harassment. Why is everyone motioning to Jeremy? What's
Because
Jeremy doing?
everyone wants Jeremy to put the wig back on, but he's hot.
His
Yeah,
hair,
it's
like
hot.
his head is so
Leave
sweaty.
the poor kid alone.
All of a sudden, I looked around and I go, "Why am I the only one in a wig?"
Oh no, Jeremy's getting sober. Here, drink
And
this.
then I
The
thought,
unnamed
this is
former cast member behind
ridiculous.
you.
Jeremy, you're not
has
off the
one as
clock.
well.
Put the wig back on.
also,
That's very nice.
Petros
Right
just
now.
threw out my printed script
And
to
did.
the garbage, which has my handwriting on it. I thought it would be worth something.
I think we just need to get him a new wig.
That's true.
I think it's just time for new wig.
I feel like I am time to be a ginger now.
Okay, Taryn will go do that. I'll finish this dumb news story. In the lawsuit, the woman stated that they endured 5 years of abuse from superiors. She said, asserted that the Oriental Land is not fulfilling its obligation to improve working conditions and ensure that employees can perform their jobs safely. She cited an incident in which a male visitor clasped the woman's right hand, painfully bended her, first of all, something called a medicinal finger. Don't know what that is.
Medicinal.
Is that like your Coke finger?
I think it's like your Coke finger. When she greeted the crowds in her Disney costume.
You gotta grow out your pinky.
The woman sought certification for a work-related injury. Her supervisor told her, "You should be able to tolerate such a trifling thing. Your heart is weak."
dishonor?
Tokyo. Yeah, you brought
Dishonor
dishonor to
on
your
your
family,
family.
dude.
So just really fast, I just got a text from my aunt asking if she could listen into this show.
And she pays $5.
Oh God.
Not if you're
I'm like, no.
There's no such thing as a medicinal finger. I just googled it.
Well, it says medicinal, so what do I know, dude? Here's a good one along the lines. It's actually not Disney news, but it's very much along the lines of what we're talking about.
Yes.
Jeremy now has a lavender
Yes.
wig, purple wig on.
He
And it's longer too, so it looks very, very rock and roll.
Jeremy's an enemy character.
You get the big eyes.
He just needs red eyes, and then he's perfect.
Oh, Terrence Sand.
Fair enough.
Let's go.
He
Okay.
looks so rock and roll right now.
Like Ariel. If she went to a rave and woke up the next morning.
Nick left like 4 hours ago. Someone hacked into the wait time system at Universal Studios Hollywood for Halloween Horror Nights on September 24th. For a few minutes, guests waiting to go into certain haunted houses were greeted with full-on X-rated porn.
Oh.
Oh dear.
That's a fun hack.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a life hack.
I mean, those poor kids, but that's hilarious otherwise.
There's a photo of it too. It's
It
so
reminds me of Fight Club.
it says it has like the wait time, and then there's like a video screen, and there's some chick with her ass in the air.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Oh God. According to reports, the wait times are controlled by iPads, and one of them was hijacked.
Oh boy.
That's great.
It's like a screenshot of someone's story, and I can't play it, but I really want to. Really want to. It was posted on Twitter. What? Learn more. No, I want to view. I want to view the porn.
I want to view the porn.
Oh, there it is.
Oh dear.
No, there's no sound, but yeah, it's it's like an iPad and just some porn, some chick boning down.
Oh wow!
There's there's like dick, like there's dick. That's crazy, dude. First of all, who does that? Second of all, how do you do that? Wow, and there's more. And then third, how do you do that?
How do you do that?
I want to hack things.
I don't want to see dick.
Yeah, I want to see this.
Oh, I just closed it out. Sorry, guys. You really want to see? I'll show you later.
Anything going on at Disney?
He's looking at porn at Universal.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. Here's a guy who built Fantasyland in his basement.
Oh, it's so sick
Wow.
though. He did such a good job, like
That's cool.
detail wise.
What a
it's
nerd, though.
amazing. Oh yeah, absolutely.
What do his parents think about it?
Yeah. And then Terrence
No,
asked
he's
those
like
kids
50 with a
about their
family.
pins.
Hey, small child. I'm here alone. What are you doing?
Oh, this drink looks pretty.
This looks like just champagne.
There's a guy on YouTube called Lars Land. He couldn't put any actual rides in his underground space. You'll only find the laundry room or storage space behind the facade if you open one of the doors. Nobody really knows if it's even real, but if you believe what he says about having recreated parts of Fantasyland entirely by himself, he did an incredible job. He put the facades of iconic Fantasyland rides, Snow White's Scary Adventures, Peter Pan's Flight, Geppetto's Workshop, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and the Village House Restaurant. Why the Village House Restaurant? I mean, if
it's
you're gonna
super
do anything,
ornate, though. I think that's what he was
Well, yeah,
going
you're
for.
probably
Like
right.
he wanted to recreate the details, and he did a really good job.
he has he can switch the lighting from daytime to nighttime mode, and he also pumps the cue music for the rides into the thing, and even sounds of tourists shuffling around.
I mean, Kyle does that in our living room.
The tourists shuffling around.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, who's the one who played Epcot entrance music loop this morning?
Me, I did. It's
Okay.
amazing. It's a beautiful entrance music loop.
Spectra Radio probably played it too.
That or Illuminations.
Spectra Rada.
Spectra Rada probably played Rada.
So
That is my
Brad, what is this?
What are we
drink?
drinking, buddy?
Sorry, I'm not Brad. I'm me. Nice to meet ya.
So
Go
Taryn
ahead,
asked
Brad.
for a champagne cocktail. So we had the French 95 earlier, and this is also called an elderflower cocktail. It's Saint Germain liqueur, peach schnapps, and champagne, and a sugar cube.
He schnapped me.
Is this number 9?
This is number 9.
Everyone,
Really?
everyone
We had
knows the
9
combination of that
That's it.
vault.
I'm not even that buzzed.
Number 9.
Number 9. I think it's good.
Number 9.
I love the aroma on this. It smells amazing, dude.
Yeah, this is amazing.
What hops are you getting?
God, this is amazing.
Wait. So are we voting on?
see what hops are you
cocktails,
getting on this?
or-
Some Columbus? in there?
We can. I don't know.
Oh,
A
there
little bit of
When?
fuel and some Halloran melon.
Apparently,
like
this
that.
guy is going to be posting
a lot of
tutorials on
extras.
how he did all this shit.
Money.
But I mean, right? But people are like trying to call it in question. I mean, it looks
money.
pretty radical, but damn, dude, he did a really good job.
His parents are going to be pissed when they get back from vacation.
I mean, look at that, Bev.
But there's no ride.
Chad?
But there's no ride.
do?
Would you really want to just walk through there in your basement of all places?
No.
Too? Like, what is the point of these?
Okay,
narrow
well, think of it like
hallways?
this though. It's like building a model railroad.
I get that, but what are you doing in these narrow hallways? Are
You're
you
modeling.
hosting parties?
Yeah, sure.
In a narrow hallway?
Parties for like 12 people
Yeah, it's
in
like-
line.
it's
You can do
like-
the cha-cha slide.
Yeah, no, that's the whole experience. You have to wait in line to get to your first party in the basement.
This is a really good one. Disney puppet master arrested for 3D printing a gun in the theater workshop.
Seriously?
Oh yeah.
Look at that bird he's with.
Jeremy needs a mic at all times, I feel like. Look at that bird he's with.
He's with a big bird. Let's go.
A puppet master at Disney's The Lion King on Broadway was recently arrested for 3D printing a plastic
Is it Michael
handgun.
Curry? Michael Curry is responsible for all those things.
Who's Michael Curry?
He's the Imagineer who did Lion King, Festival of Fantasy,
Is this the puppet,
Tapestry of
puppet
Nations.
dude? No, I don't know. No,
I
his
just
name is
mentioned him in
Ilya
my-
Vet.
Oh, then not, it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't listen to you.
You were just flexing on your knowledge about
You
Lion
guys-
King.
no, because I just did
No.
Rivers
He's
of
flexing on his
Light.
knowledge.
Rivers of Light, and the puppets were Michael Curry, so that's why I thought it might have been him, but it's some other.
The puppet master was responsible for maintaining and repairing the various puppets used in the show, but was losing his job with Disney on Broadway's long-running show, so he was already being fired. When security at the Minskoff Theater was helping him pack up any personal items, they found the printer in the middle of manufacturing the gun and called police.
Oh wow, that seems very drastic.
Just FYI, Disney has multiple puppet masters. Like many.
Well, this is he says a puppet master. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
They have many.
Jeremy, don't get angry.
Not
don't
one.
get angry.
Don't flip that wig.
It's
Don't
okay.
flip that
Why
wig.
It's okay.
I just asked because listen, there's this guy.
Why are you whispering?
No, I just was curious because there is that one guy who is responsible for so many of them. And it would
Why are you
it
gonna
would have
cry
been
right
real
now?
cool if it was Michael Curry, but it's not.
But
I
it's
feel
not.
like Jeremy's current persona needs a name other than Jeremy.
Becky.
Gail. I like Gail.
Gail is pretty good. I kind of like Felicia, just so we could say bye, Felicia. But I kind of like Gail. But we can go like Bertha.
Gail's your mom's best friend that lives next door and smokes a ton
would
of
actually-
cigarettes
She totally
and
lives next
stays
door.
young by dyeing
Sorry,
her hair
but honestly,
purple.
I would say I
With
was
a cigarette
Or
holder.
like
I feel
Linda.
Exactly.
I would say
It's like,
Jim.
oh, Linda.
Linda, yeah, that's Linda.
I would say Jim. Not Jim as in Jim, but Jim because she's truly,
GYM.
truly outrageous. That's what you look at with the wig on.
Oh,
That is Jim. That's the same
shut
same
it
color
down.
hair.
Nice try.
Can you mute Craig as well, please?
I like Gail. I like Gail. I think it's Gail.
That's not a Gail.
It's Gail. No, but I think it's
Gail
I think
who?
it's
Too
so
long.
different. No, I know that's why I like it.
I kind of like Linda.
Yeah, Linda's where it's at.
Listen, Linda.
Linda.
That'll work actually.
Hey,
yeah.
Linda.
All right, next article. Petros, let's go.
You got to talk in the microphone though, Bev.
Come on, Murray. Gail Murray.
Linda.
Linda.
Murray. Sorry.
Petros, next article.
Let's see. That's a stupid one. Oh, this might be interesting to people who care about happy stuff. Let's see what the chat's saying.
Yeah, what are they saying over there?
love you. They think you've gone from 0 to 60. Oh, sorry.
Matt says, I left the room to change a diaper, and now Jeremy's blonde. And he says, please ask Jeremy to make more Seinfeld references.
You got it, dude.
You know what, Matt? I thought that too.
That was Full House, bro.
Matt says when he was wearing the black wig, Jeremy looks like Linda from Bob's Burgers, and he totally did.
Oh,
With
and
the
by
accents
the way,
as well.
By the way, Linda from
Bob.
Bob's Burgers is
Bobby.
me.
It's you?
The 60s, right? That's when we had fun.
Kind of sound like her.
Right?
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, keep going.
It's hot. I might go in the pool and have a swim, right?
Okay, you lost it now.
Listen, I'm
But
not
you
going
tried.
in if you splash me. I'm not going in. If you splash me, I'm not going in that water. All right.
Oh my God,
I want a
you're
pastrami
brilliant.
deli sandwich.
Come on. We're going to go get the Christmas tree.
Bobby.
You want to get the tree? All right.
Oh, Gene.
Help me. Help me clean up after the tree. Such a mess.
How did I not know you guys watch this show?
You
I
wanna-
love this
Who
show.
doesn't watch this show?
Who wants
My
bit?
wife. Where is she? She left. She hates when I.
What do you mean you ain't
She is
taking a picture by the
crazy.
tree, huh?
I made my 10:30 appointment joke earlier too. Like Bob has his 4 p.m. appointment.
Yes,
that was a whole
10:30.
episode.
But Tina was doing the
dance
she's
fighting.
doing her dancing karate.
Yeah.
I want to dress Alice up.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry.
No, you were screaming. That's all right.
I want to
Oh my
dress Alice
God.
up as Louise for Halloween.
Yes.
But I have to wait until next year, because it'll be cuter if she can walk.
She can walk, right? Exactly.
But it's gonna be so cute. And then Jason will be Bob, and I'll be Linda. It'll be perfect.
So do you?
I could be Tina.
Bev literally just got cut off.
They were giving away alcohol.
True.
Bev got cut off.
Bitch.
She says last year I'm not going to spend as much money, and this year I'm going to spend more money. And I'm thinking, where the hell is she getting the money from?
Damn, everyone's incredulous right now. Damn.
What just happened?
I've
That's
never seen
Linda.
Taryn actually mad before.
What happened?
She's like, I wasn't done with my drink. Our bartender
Rude.
drank it.
Why?
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Oh.
Here, try this one. You can taste it in front,
No,
not
I
in the
don't
middle,
want that
and then
one. I
terrible.
want
It
the
had
delicious
it
one
had
I
nothing to do with you and where you were.
What's
I'm
playing
sorry.
right now? Why is there music playing?
That's not a music. That's like
Oh,
a
That's
it
a
ain't
freaking
spectacle.
moped
Song.
outside.
I know you won't play
No.
that.
Disney Magic to host a Turner Classic Movies Classic Cruise, which is kind of cool, I suppose. The event will unfold for 5 nights on the Disney Magic next year. TCM billed it as the Majestic Disney Magic, which is really a terrible name.
The Majestic Disney Magic.
Yeah, Majestic.
Come on our
Disney
Disney
Magic.
Magical Cruise Line on the Disney Magic Majestic Disney Magic Disney.
Right.
Where we travel to Disney Magical Disney destinations on the Disney Magic.
Magically.
Disney Harbor.
Magically.
It starts in New York and goes to Bermuda.
Bermuda.
Oh, New York?
TMC's Ben Mankiewicz will serve as cruise host. TCM promised appearances by legendary classic film stars, screenings of great movies, unique presentations with film experts, in-depth interviews, Q&A sessions, trivia, games, and more.
Is there an adult level?
Does the boat have Dole Whips?
God, I hope so.
Oh, Dole Whips with rum.
No,
They're
don't
not as
do
good
it.
as they look.
God, how much is that? Let's see.
You don't want a Dole Whip with rum. They do that at the Disneyland Hotel. And
Yeah,
they
I
do
did it
in-
with dark
It's
rum,
not good?
and
It's not
a
good.
good choice.
Really?
Like,
The thing
I got
is
it
that-
at Animal
It's terrible,
Kingdom,
yeah.
and all of a sudden
The
it was
flavor of
like,
a Dole Whip is very light. It's very fragile. It's not something you can mix with other things.
No, I feel like that's a solid like Malibu mixer.
Yeah,
you're gonna-
if
you're
you want to
gonna
do
throw in
Malibu, I mean that's
throw in
different.
Malibu.
Wow, dude, you got to log in or create an account to figure out even the pricing.
Rude.
That's stupid.
yeah, that's dumb.
We want
Bless you.
your data.
Yeah, I know.
Can we have your data, please?
Pricing availability. There
I
we
want
go.
your data.
What is it? Oh Jesus, there's a whole chart, dude. But a
Oh,
single
God.
guest for a deluxe family room with a veranda, $7,000.
What if you go for the room that's actually underwater?
You mean like the
No,
The
Sorry,
cheap
the
no
rooms are
window,
standard
terrible.
interior
like,
for 2 guests is
actually underwater.
You mean like the
1,700.
cruise
That's the number
quarters?
you're looking for.
No, there's no way. Dude.
How much
Those-
is it to ride in the
that.
dinghy? Just curious.
We got one more drink coming. We got 8 minutes
deserve
left.
a second drink of that last
Taryn
one.
is still mad.
I'm actually a little upset.
She was
It's okay.
robbed.
Look, I am the type of person who I eat a meal
Mm-hmm.
and I save my perfect bite for last.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody takes that bite, I'm gonna be a little pissed.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing just happened. That was like my favorite drink we've had.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one that requested champagne drinks. I had the big drink, and then all of a sudden it disappeared.
She's also been the one that's been
sober.
maintaining her sobriety the longest because she
true.
has to nurse a child.
I am sober. I could literally drive you all somewhere.
Let's
right
go
now.
right now. Run block. Let's go.
I could do that.
I
Right.
would. You could drive me to the store and then I could just buy all the things and make you their drink.
I'm sure we have another one, and I guarantee you Terrence went out there to get another one for you.
It's fine.
So it'll be all right.
Everything's gonna be fine. But
Don't worry about it.
I know, but I am a little like.
You're down here.
I know.
We need you up here.
I know. I'll shake.
Shake it off. Jeremy, help her shake it
Don't
off.
be sad. Turn that frown upside down.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, literally stand on your head.
Yeah,
That's
literally.
what he's asking you to do.
I am also within driving distance.
Driving distance.
But I will be staying until I don't know how to get home.
He's gonna stay until he doesn't know how to get home.
Got it.
That's a good plan.
Clarity.
Jason, you have 2 cats.
2 cats.
How often do you change the litter?
Never.
When was the last time you changed the litter?
When did we change the litter box? Everyone's writing me right now about the fucking spare bathroom because we have 2 litter boxes
Have you been
in it.
into this bathroom?
No, I go upstairs where it's clean.
I don't know. It was yesterday. 2 cats.
That's
They're
not
stinky.
yesterday.
That was probably the day before.
Kyle's an
I
expert.
may have
we don't do it
taken
daily,
a
I can tell you
huge
that much.
Dump in that litter box earlier today. No, but listen, that cat dumps like a human. Because I went in there and I'm like, oh, I gotta pee, fine. And then I looked in the litter box and I was like, yay. Who was in here? Sorry. I'm like, where is that cat? It's not a cat, it's a cougar. It's a lion.
Jesus.
That cougar is dropping bombs in that bathroom.
Wow.
Okay, that's it.
Apparently, Disney's CEO Bob Iger makes his first public comments on John Lasseter.
Oh.
Oh, here we go.
He didn't really say anything.
He said, anytime that you change
ruined the
leadership,
story.
there's an inevitable cultural shift. There was a cultural shift at Disney when I took over from Michael Eisner after 21 years. John Lasseter was in his role for a long time, had an enormous influence on both the culture and creativity of Pixar. And so, of course, in John leaving, there's the inevitable cultural shift. To get into details, I'd prefer not to.
Again, he didn't really say
Boo,
anything.
you whore.
I prefer not to get into any details. That's almost worse than just not
like-
saying anything.
Also, you could just be like, hey, this guy was a creeper, and I'm sorry.
So since my buddy doesn't work at Pixar anymore, and he might be able to talk about it, I'm just saying that there's a possibility that he told me that everything they said about Lasseter was way under exaggerated from what it was.
Really?
Like there's a possibility. I'm not saying he said this, but there's a possibility that he said that people who were trying to get movies produced would get the most attractive person in their group, like the most attractive woman in their group, to be the one to pitch it, because there was a better chance that he would say yes if it was an attractive woman in there.
That's just smart.
No,
I'm
that's
sorry,
not
but
smart.
that
I feel like that's how
horrible.
Finding Dory got made.
No, that is
You
horrible.
guys,
Are you
you
kidding
guys,
me?
no, you
was
guys,
a great
you
movie,
guys.
but that's
That
horrible.
is just freaking business. I'm sorry, but that is what you do. You put your best foot forward. If your best foot is the most attractive woman there, you friggin' use her.
But
Stop.
then you're
Have
also
I-
playing into
have I-
the-
Now I know
Hold
why
on,
your drink
hold
got
on,
taken
hold
away,
on.
Terry.
Have I told the story?
I don't like that.
Now
I
I know
have a
why
fun
your drink
story.
got taken away.
I have
Not
a fun
at
story.
all. Oh my god. Oh my god. No.
So
dude.
in
Put that wig on.
in
right
2007,
That looks so much better than you were.
I think it was about 2007. Calvin Venture was getting ready to expand because they realized they were having issues.
Who?
2007, Calvin Venture getting ready
California
to expand.
Adventure.
California
realized-
Adventure.
That's one word.
DCA.
Calvin Venture.
DCA.
Thank you.
They realized
Nada
that
small
Tower of
asset.
Terror wasn't the silver bullet that they were looking for, and they knew they needed more. So Imagineering was called into a meeting to pitch attractions, and they pitched about 4 attractions. They did 3 up front. One was a San Francisco ride that was an e-ticket
Frisco.
attraction.
I love
Frisco.
Frisco.
Sourdough bread. You're riding in a bread
Anyway,
bowl.
so there were
Go
3
on.
attractions, and then the 4th one came up, and they said, well, we have they were like, do you have anything else? And they were like, well, we have another idea, but it's not fully prepared, and we're not really sure we like it compared to the others. And the manager at the time, what was her name? Head of DCA, had the swear jar.
Kim Irvine.
No, not Kim Irvine.
Cynthia Harris.
Not Cynthia Harris, the other one. You don't remember her name? Okay. Anyway, well, this woman, she used to have a swear jar on her desk. And if you said DCA, you had to put $1 into her swear jar. So anyway, we were having this meeting, and they said, well, what's your 4th one? We just want to hear it since you have it. And they're like, well, we came up with this idea. It would basically be an Omnimover system that would retell the story of Little Mermaid. And she went, "My daughter loves Little Mermaid." And that was it.
Okay.
That's how we got Little Mermaid.
And that's how 2012's big addiction.
And it sucks because we
is Little Mermaid.
lost Whoopi Goldberg in Golden Dreams, right?
Calafia,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the spirit of California.
Does it suck?
Yeah, I know.
Yes, that was the best show in the park.
Can you hear Greg?
I can't tell
Ma'am,
if
did
you're
you forget your
serious.
bag?
Where's my Brad?
Well, I just think
But
I've
that's
said this before. Like, I feel like The Little Mermaid could have been so much more than what it currently is.
It could have been.
When you
could
look
have
at
been
what
anything.
the original
Could've
idea
been
was
less.
for it, it
Yeah.
was more of a Peter Pan ride where you're suspended and you're going through, and that looked amazing.
I will say that Little Mermaid is definitely a component that DCA was missing. And it needed a good dark ride that was a good people eater, and that's a great addition. When it first came out, it had a lot of issues. It had the CGI Little Mermaid. It had really bad lighting compared to what it has now. But adding the dark lighting with the I hear something with the UVs and adding in hand-drawn animation to make it match the movie is a lot different. There were some different editions. I don't know if you guys knew this, but the original version of Little Mermaid, you know, at the end where they have the singing, the crowd's like, "Ooh, you see her," the kissing scene, right? Yeah. There's those fishes spinning around, and they're shooting water up.
Yeah.
They all look like penises. All the water that they're shooting out of their mouth for the first time.
See,
And her hair too.
And her hair
was
looked like a
changed in the
penis,
main-
too.
No, it didn't look like a penis.
looked like
in
a
the
penis.
main scene. They changed it to something different.
Okay, and personally, I've always thought that particular scene should have been real water.
I just have always enjoyed how the ride goes. They kiss, and then
They don't even kiss.
and then, all right. And then it goes to the next scene, and it's like, oh, look, they're in love, and they're kissing, and it's a silhouette. And then Ursula's in the corner like,
She's
damn
literally
you
a
all.
cardboard cutout.
You
in
skipped the
corner.
story.
And then they're like married, and then you see like Daddy Triton. You know.
Yeah, like there's just a couple things
I'm
that
not
I think that they
complaining.
could make different, and I think it would make the ride so much better. Like
Yeah.
I feel like the fish should be in
Greg
real
has,
water.
Greg has
like,
issues with Triton.
I don't know.
Just going to say.
I just love the Little Mermaid
I
so
like
much
Triton.
that
Issues?
I feel
Apparently,
like the ride's
Jeremy
kinda
shares
janky.
that.
Yeah, get a mic. Between you and Bev, I don't know who to slap.
I'm on the mic.
Triton's got that six pack, but like, listen,
He sure does.
how much of the story are they going to be able to tell? It's 3 minutes. You're floating through. It's like, okay, they did the best they could.
At
That's
least
something that
Okay,
Disney does
so-
interesting now too.
So the components of a good story include an issue, right? Like a good story talks about a character who has a problem, overcomes the problem, and then comes to a solution.
Disney,
please
the
tell me.
alcoholic.
Please tell me what the problem was that we saw in the Little Mermaid ride. In the ride.
Not the ride, not the story. Not the story. She was a fish and
cares?
didn't want to be
Where's
What's
my
the problem
Brad?
in Peter Pan?
Where's my Brad?
in the ride.
Brad.
They had to fight Captain Hook and retake the pirate ship, which they show. They do that in Peter Pan.
Jeremy's lost it. Why is the camera on me? Why is it not on friggin' Jeremy?
It's
I
on
think
Jeremy,
hair
Broseph.
makes people stupid. Do you agree, Petros?
The hair makes people.
Petros,
That's what
look
you
at
look
that.
like right there.
It's literally on Jeremy.
I know, but it wasn't like 2 seconds ago when I
It's
looked.
been on Jeremy for a long time.
No.
Oh my god, I gotta make that my profile.
I took a picture of you when you first put that on. I'll send it
Thank
to
you,
you.
Bev. Thank you.
I
All
got
right, so
you,
question
boo.
for tonight. Which wig of Jeremy's was the best? Please let us know in the chat. Was it the black wig, the blonde wig, the purple wig, or just his normal hair?
No, he needs to
here
put that
we
wig
go.
back on before this drink.
Literally, no one's gonna choose his normal hair.
Correct.
Sorry, I love your normal hair, but for tonight, it's different.
Can you grow it out and just make it purple?
I mean, I could do it.
Let's do that.
I could do that.
Let's make that a goal for this
Your
year.
clients would love it.
Oh yes.
All right, Brad, what are we drinking here?
Sorry, I'm not Brad.
Brad.
Thank you, Brad. I mean, thank you, person.
Her name is
Michelle.
She's going to unfollow you on Insta.
Thank you.
Michelle.
Michelle, the CNH mommy.
CNH mommy.
Yeah. All right, fine. Brad, what are we almost drinking here? Thank
So
you.
this is the kind of the perfect end to this. This is called the Corpse Reviver #2.
Oh, okay, great.
This is a classic cocktail as well. You see this
Mazel.
all over bars, especially around the Bay Area. But this is actually a favorite of mine. So,
Okay.
it's got a absinthe wash glass with gin, lemon juice, Lillet Blanc. And
What is Lillet Blanc?
well, it
Sounds like a starlet
it's
from
an
the
aperitif
30s.
wine.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a what?
Aperitif wine,
Okay.
like a port or sherry or vermouth. It's like more like a vermouth.
Okay. Cheers,
I feel like
everybody.
I'm
Our
forgetting-
last drink.
I feel
Look
like
at
I'm
that.
forgetting an ingredient there, but
Wait, but in all seriousness, what's the nose on this?
It's the last
It's
one.
the absinthe.
That
It's the
contains
absinthe?
Yeah.
Definitely the
absinthe.
Absinthe for sure.
It's just honestly, it's just
Mazel.
an absinthe wash glass is all. So
Have some of these, and you'll be absinthe tomorrow at work.
Can we just take a moment and thank Brad while he's in here? Because this
Yay,
has been amazing.
Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Actually, I would say thank you to all. It was a lot of fun.
Without Brad, we wouldn't have Linda.
And
Thanks, Brad, and your support staff.
And thank you, Michelle
That's true.
and Matt, for bringing them all to us. Thank you.
Yes, yes,
And Charlie for washing dishes.
Oh, Charlie, good boy, dude. Nice
That's
work,
quite good.
Charlie.
Charlie.
I don't. I agree.
He's really handsome, but very short.
Fuck that guy.
Is Charlie taller than you? No, he's not. No, he's not.
What does it matter?
Yeah, he's taller.
Going back to back like I'm on the cover of Lethal Weapon.
They're about the same height.
Okay. Let's prove it. All right. Well, what was everyone's favorite drink? I think mine was the coffee one.
Mine was the grasshopper.
Coffee.
Yeah.
I like the
coffee
one
one
right
was great.
before this, the champagne one.
That was good too.
Yeah.
Very good.
I like the G Hop.
G Hop. Jeremy, you're my girl.
Grasshopper. Oh my god. Oh my.
He can't cheers anybody without his wig on.
That's true. I had a few more.
What did people say in the chat about his wig?
Do you guys want to hear a story about how to use the Play Disney Parks app, which will help you interact with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge?
No, because it's live. You can't interact with a thing that's not there yet.
Matt again says Jeremy looks like Ursula's sister from The Little Mermaid 2 in the new wig. Right down to the squinting, sassy anger.
That's weird.
You taking a photo? You want me to take a photo for you?
Yeah, I don't want to ever remember that.
I like my face in that. Just concerned.
You're very concerned.
I will never hear it again.
Jeremy does look very sassy. All right, everybody. I think we're gonna. Oh, we can do a couple more questions. We've been doing this for a little over 3 hours, but let's finish the questions real fast, huh?
Insane. This is insane.
Let's see. Let's see. Bev, what is your superpower?
Oh God, what is my?
Apparently,
superpower?
not giving Sam hand jobs.
Look, I offer. He just isn't always open to receive. My superpower is the ability to stare somebody down with flared nostrils and make them cry.
Okay, Greg, what's your superpower? And not talking to the microphone is probably one of them. There you go.
I mean, I guess I have to talk to the mic, right?
There you go.
Is this loud enough?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
My superpower would be, I don't know, just infinite love.
God.
Okay.
Get it.
What about sass? How about
Get
sass?
out of
Yeah,
here.
I
Taryn,
guess
what's
sass.
yours?
I don't really know. I think that mine has to do with work.
Okay, Terrence, what's yours?
I'm
God,
really good at
how
it.
depressing.
I'm really good at it.
I don't know. I don't know if I have a superpower. Do I have a superpower? There we go. Becca did.
Make them cheeks clap, bruh.
There you go.
Jeremy.
So I hope this isn't awkward, but giving Sam handos.
Not awkward at all.
God, don't forget those tweezers. Go on.
I think I'd also have to go with. No, I'm just kidding. Knowledge.
No,
Mine's-
it's like the ability to bullshit.
Knowledge.
Hey, you wanna play? You wanna play the knowledge game?
Jason, what's yours?
You don't know the game.
Probably to find the flaw in everything.
That is a superpower.
You're
yeah.
pretty good at that. You do know
I'm
that.
actually not very good at it.
You're pretty good at it.
That's a joke.
You didn't say he was good enough. Go ahead.
If you could eat one snack from the park for the rest of your life,
Easy.
what would it be? I would go Matterhorn macaroons, dude. I still want to try to make those at home. I think they're great.
Churros.
A snack?
Like it's not like your only food forever, ever, but like
like a snack food.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I can't be next.
Those
Come back to me.
Nestle Toll House ice cream sandwiches.
yeah.
Yeah.
Never had one.
Golden Horseshoe, you can get 2 of them for like $5.
They come
right
out.
now.
And they also come out
Oh, yeah.
frozen as ice, so you have to like wait a little bit because
out
they're
caramel
just
and
like
chocolate.
they're super frozen and you can't take a bite because you'll lose a tooth.
Oh, geez.
But you just wait a little bit and then they are really good.
Jeremy,
Hot dog with macaroni and cheese on
That's
top.
so good.
that's not a
But
snack.
that's like a food, bro.
Diabetic. I don't know why I called you
I
diabetic.
think mine
but-
is the flavored popcorn.
Let's see. For Taryn and
dill.
Jason, which is better, Disney World or Disneyland? I think Disneyland's better.
Yeah.
Without contest.
Disneyland is better, but honestly, Disney World had some really cool parts to it.
Bingo.
What's your favorite Bay Area brewery? I'm new to the area.
None.
I don't know, man.
That's not true at all.
The Rare
Flat Tail
Barrel.
in Oregon.
The Rare Barrel's good.
21st Amendment's good.
21st Amendment.
You should come to
good.
Jason's
Field
Garage. It's at the address of
Heretic.
Actually, I have a beer you can try.
I like Fieldwork.
Heretic.
Fieldwork.
Heretic. Yep.
Gilman. We got to hook up our boy, dude.
It's
Gilman
true.
Brewing. No, I'm not lying at all. I think they're good as well.
Here's a good one. If you could make
Last
Yeah,
time we
Gilman's
came up here.
good.
Yeah, it was great.
if you could
Loved
make any merchandise for the Disneyland Resort, what would it be?
Shoes with extra memory foam.
I have the
Yeah, those are called
perfect-
Crocs.
I have the perfect
Nipple
min-
rings.
Got
So
it. Okay.
There's these things like if you have a Mickey ear that you really like a lot,
Yeah.
you put these covers on it and like cup
Wow.
ears on it. They should start selling those in the parks.
Wow, that's a good idea.
Right?
That's genius. Yo, we should patent that.
Darren, what would your merchandise be?
Literally cover yours.
Jeremy?
A collection of CDs of all the music the parks have ever had.
Weird. Kyle?
wigs of Disney princesses for Jeremy to wear.
And then, I don't know, let's just try this last one, and then we'll go. If you could work any attraction, which one would it be?
That's fantastic.
Oh,
It's a good question, right?
All right, so is it the attraction or the costume?
I don't know. I mean, you work at
all
the
the
attraction,
attractions are
so
pretty easy
He didn't ask
to
what costume
operate.
would you want to wear. He said what attraction.
yeah.
Right.
What attraction do you want to work, and why? So if you want to work at one, certainly because of its costume, then that's a valid reason.
I would say Haunted Mansion.
Me
Those
fucking
costumes
too,
are
bro.
Sick.
They really are.
I mean, Nemo
But you can't
was
wear shorts.
Super fun to work, but
Right.
The train.
Yes,
The
that's
Disneyland
the other one
Railroad.
too.
So I want to work on the steamboat, but I also want to be Princess Tiana, and that's never gonna happen for me.
You could be Princess Tiana on the steamboat.
That's
like-
true. They weren't. She wasn't allowed.
You're like Princess Susie. Like, not a princess.
You'd have to wear blackface, and that's not okay.
I can't
No.
do that, so it's
No,
never
it is
gonna happen
not.
for me. But like they have the live jab.
Jav.
They have the live jab music.
Jib Jarp.
They have the like live jazz music
Smear lap.
on the boat.
Yeah.
It's just so cool.
Taryn.
I'm having a hard time with this one.
Jeremy.
Drive the Disney World monorail.
Taryn.
Jungle Cruise.
All right.
Well, hey, can I answer?
Oh, I thought you did already.
No, I did not.
Princess Tiana.
I would be in Florida. I would be in Florida. Princess Tiana, Florida, as a loader on the Tower of Terror.
Why Florida?
Because I love the costume. Because they don't have Tower of Terror where we are. The costume, and also because you get to interact, and you have to be that kind of weird, somber person. And I'm telling you, when DCA had it, the interaction between the people loading the elevator and the people on the elevator was fantastic. I
I've
loved
literally
Loved it.
never remember being interacted with getting loaded onto that ride.
There was a
Once.
person.
I remember once, and I was
Ever.
with you.
Yes,
That happened. When
there
that
was
happened.
there was a guy that
That's
loaded us on.
Literally the whole premise for
Every
my
sing-
hotel idea, by the way.
Every single
That
time
guy.
there was the person loading us always had some kind of weird interaction. So there was a guy who was there, and he said, as the doors were closing, he said, "Enjoy your stay."
And it was like
And it
as
was-
the doors were closing, it was like enjoy your stay.
and like right in his face, and then you finish the ride, and you come back and he's in the same place with the same expression. And I was like,
super good.
I was like, that was amazing. I love that.
You know
It
what's
was
interesting with that
amazing.
though too is like they don't like train cast members to do that on other rides.
No,
like
no.
that's like a character actor, and that's always been like with the Tower of
Can you,
Terror.
can you imagine they do that on Mater's like spin where they like
They don't.
dip in their dip. You want some dip in your tongue before you go to Burger King?
So we have a listener, and she finished the college program, and now she's one of the ride operators there, and they don't do that. But the first time I went on Guardians of the Galaxy, I saw someone, and it was someone I saw who worked there when it was Tower of Terror. And I said, do you like this one better or the last one? And she looked me dead in the face and said, this one sucks. And I was like, why? And she goes, because we're just funneling people in. We are not supposed to interact with people at all. So I would definitely be in Florida doing that one because you still get to interact in that way.
Yes, Beverly,
I
go ahead,
just want to
please.
rewind to, oh my gosh, this ride is so great. It's so much better than Tower of Terror.
No, I enjoy the ride, but I'm saying the people who work
Like how
it
my
don't
story
enjoy
of
it as
Terrence was
much.
drunk.
That was pretty bad.
I was on the phone for
But-
that, wasn't I? I called in, and I was the only one agreeing with him.
No, it's a
Well,
great
unfortunately wrong.
ride, but for the cast members, they don't like it as much. That's what it is. I don't get paid to go on it. I pay to go on it.
Thank you, everybody. This has been our 5th anniversary show, our secret show. Oh, you're just playing you off. Oh, look at that. We get applause, spontaneous applause. Always like that when that breaks out. I want to thank deeply, honestly, and truly you Patreon people who are listening to the show because we would literally not be doing this without you supporting the show. That's just a fact. We wouldn't be doing this at all. So you're the reason why everybody else gets to listen to the show for free. So if you know someone who listens to the show and they don't pay for it, beat them up. Beat them up. And then send them to Jeremy, and Jeremy will beat them up. And then he'll say, Mazel.
No, he'll have Linda beat them up.
Linda.
Yes.
Watch out.
Oh, okay, do I kick? I'm going to kick you now. Watch out. Here I come. That's my Linda. I don't know why. No, honestly, thank you very much. And thank you to everybody behind the scenes who were bringing food and drinks and allowing us to do the show for 8 hours.
Oh my God.
It's 8 o'clock over here on the West Coast. 8:30 almost. 8:30. We started at 11 this morning. So we've been actively doing stuff for like 9 hours or whatever math means. I don't even understand it. I guess that's it, right? I don't know.
That's it.
Thank you to everybody for coming on and doing the show. I really appreciate it. Thank you to Jeremy for flying all the way out here from Jersey. Thank you to Kyle and Greg from driving all the way up from the LA area.
Flew, actually. We did fly.
Oh, you flow?
Yeah,
you flowed?
We did
Flow.
Shit.
Can you flow for us real quick?
Remember that whole text message about the plane still being grounded
I
and all
got
that?
I got 4 motorcycles in my garage. And you want to ride them, you got to go hard. What? That's all I got.
The problem is that we can't mute him.
We didn't get up to our place until like 2 a.m. last night because of that delay.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah, it
Jeez,
sucked.
dude.
That sucks real bad. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Are we done?
We're good.
We're gonna go. What are we eating for dinner?
Gumbo.
I feel like
Gumbo
I
and
feel like
pork.
I haven't eaten properly since like 10:30.
Gumbo
Definitely
and
been
pork.
like grazing.
Yeah.
Gumbo and pork. Let's hit it.
Gumbo and pork, baby. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot. Oh, I'm gonna post the 5-hour show in Patreon for like a week before I put it online to everybody else too, as a thank you to you guys because again, you're the reason we're doing the show. You're the reason you guys keep the lights on. So really appreciate it. All right, we're gonna go finally. Cheers, everybody, and you know what we'll do?
Bye.
We'll see you in the parks.